J'ai content d'espoir black c'est une émission de dia. Avant nous aller plus loin, pas besoin de dire nous, qui ça qui puis go fierté ou en tant qu'artiste.
Black crazy.
Lila.
Haïti sont différents.
Ou fier.
Haïtien, même là nous qui en pile gaillement. Nous bataille, nous sortis dans duel gaillement. Qui je nous t'affaiblir, c'est que mon nigua caillement. Pour les yon drapeau pays, son bagay qui bouleversant. Et puis notre tête nous, c'est pas que nous qui compassion. Mais nous avons l'autre vision pour l'autre dimension. Que chez nous, c'est ça, go bête chaque acquisition. Nous remettons danser et puis couler pression. Ou c'est l'homme, ou par contre qui sort guier pour moi. Mettez votre chai, qui pas même chai qui part pour moi. Femme travail, misère, c'était tout. Journée, mais qui te drapeau flotter, c'est celle fierté pour moi.
Yeah, pour me dire, c'est haïtien, mais black, c'est pour les pauvres. Moi, représenter Lyon, chai sous ton. Et pas poter, même la depuis m'enchaîner pour y avoir minoté. Oui, yeah, pour me dire, c'est haïtien, mais black, c'est pour les pauvres. Moi, représenter Lyon, chai sous ton. Et pas poter, même la depuis m'enchaîner pour y avoir minoté.
Oui, t'es de chaîne, ne bien, ni nous fait le casser. Même ma coup de garçon, non d'homme, pas jamais passé. Moral, moi, pas déplacé, ni déconscientisé. Même chose, j'ai côté me sorti et qui misère qui me passe. Moi, remercier mon Dieu en pile. Parce qu'elle est noire, c'est ça, l'homme anti-rose pour prier matin, midi et soir. Yo, si Haïti, pas changer, parole marquée dans l'histoire. Au bout de y'a petit c'est pour misère, pour contrat. Yo, gars qui nous beaucoup les même pas contre pour qui ça. Pour yo, c'est plus gros et gré, pour Dieu faire citer ça. Oui, c'est black original, mais nous pas qu'à pétil. Ça qui va nous fierté, y'a comment pour nous faire pétil. Un beau c'est l'homme, ou pas contre qui sort qui est. Pour moi, t'es pas de chai, qui pas même chai qui bat. Pour moi, femme travail, misère, c'était tout. Journée, mais qui t'aide à me flotter, c'est celle fierté pour moi.
Oui, yeah, pour me dire, c'est haïtien, mais black, c'est pour les pauvres. Moi, représenter Lyon, chai sous ton. Et pas poter, même la depuis m'enchaîner pour y avoir minoté. Oui, yeah, pour me dire, c'est haïtien, mais black, c'est pour les pauvres. Moi, représenter Lyon, chai sous ton. Et pas poter, même la depuis m'enchaîner pour y avoir minoté. Bien plus force pour nous dire. Fierté, nous, c'est identité, nous, à nous, pas jamais perdu. Dans l'esprit, nous, yon histoire cicatrisée qui va nous reconnaître réalité qui est nous,
Boss, nous c'est black, qui trace route pour liberté t'es passé. Black qui joue les jodis à payer pour casser. Black qui compte misère, black qui fort, qui fier, black qui black joue dans dernier couche, black la black. Qui mettait les mondes sous des rangs, black. Qui belle, qui fou, qui un peu bon, black. Qui pas peur nous les yo. Qui pas peur l'autre couleur yo. Black, qui mettait l'autre dans des allodes. Qui casse chaîne, qui casse corde. Black, black, black. Et black doué. Bon ça. Black, et black doué.
oui, yeah, pour me dire, c'est haïtien, mais black, c'est pour les pauvres. Moi, représenter Lyon, chai sous ton. Et pas poter, même la depuis m'enchaîner pour y avoir minoté. Oui, yeah, pour me dire, c'est haïtien, mais black, c'est pour les pauvres. Moi, représenter Lyon, chai sous ton. Et pas poter, même la depuis m'enchaîner pour y avoir minoté.
Haïtien, yeah.
Bonjour classe. Je tiens à parler de l'importance de drapeau. Même temps que chaque grain dans nous là, dis-moi qui ça drapeau a représenté pour lui.
Drapeau m'nan c'est coulé sang qui t'est coulé pour liberté. Coulé pour mieux pas de vle ouais comme quoi moi t'es un monde damné.
Drapeau m'nan c'est pas facile sous un jodi à
existait. Ces grands-parents qui t'étaient campés face à l'époque, puis gros la mer. Drapeau nan représenter changement, l'histoire, l'humanité. Son bagaille de rôle ou car elle simple, pourtant l'extrêmement compliqué. Drapeau nan c'est lui qui rappelait l'Amérique à le monde entier. Haïtien yon pas accepté pour mon esclave aucun côté.
Drapeau nan sorti depuis belle histoire qui jamais existé. Histoire ancêtre New York t'es sacrifié pour nous libérer.
C'est pas yon fable, c'est bon roman. Non plus c'est pas yon conte de fait. C'est première fois ça t'est arrivé. C'est monde là qui t'a pral changé.
La pomme c'est un coucher belle moins. Mais pas le couler, moi veuve couler pas changer.
Vrai couler pas changer.
Les rouges là c'est fierté moi. Mais fait sembler la plaie décoller en bas pour moi.
Drapeau a pas qu'à comprendre que jodi a nous diviser. Devise nous lignes, fait la force, mais malgré ça nous préjugés.
Plusieurs tribus unis force pour libérer toute yon race. Pourtant nous-mêmes comme descendants, nous séparer tête nous en classe.
Drapeau ça t'a tout échangé, si c'est état ça n'a prêté.
Il pas de sens pour nous encore, tellement nous est qu'une pas semblé. Drapeau nan li temps pour prendre place où t'es gagné. Même chanter dans tant longtemps pour t'aoumer ak nek qui n'est.
Drapeau nan ton coup soleil, yo pense que pas t'a chambre briller. Il rappelait que mon jodi a, c'est fête hier il t'est commencé.
Drapeau nan pas inquiété même si ou t'a ouais des fois blasé. Joue quand même faut que yo camper pour pas valer qu'on mérite.
Drapeau c'est un coucher vers loin. Mais pas le couler, moi veuve couler pas changer.
Couler pas changer.
Les rouges là c'est fierté moi. Mais fait sembler la plaie décoller en bas pour moi.
Coller en bas pour moi.
Yon jour gen pour river, y'a si span passé ou en papier. Oh,
Waval jeunesse peut mériter. Y'a quoi on t'en couvre symbole liberté.
La pomme c'est un coucher vers moi. Mais pas le couler, moi veuve couler pas changer.
couler pas changer.
Les rouges là c'est fierté moi. Mais fait sembler la plaie décoller en bas pour moi.
En bas pour moi.
Coller en bas pour moi. Coller en bas pour moi.
Fierté moi.
Coller en bas pour moi.
Li en bas pour moi.
Coller en bas pour moi.
Drapeau c'est fierté.
Coller en bas pour moi.
Et me fier que mes haïtiens.
Coller en bas pour moi.
Haïtianité en bas pour moi.
Coller en bas pour moi.
you can imagine the threat that Haiti imposed upon America since 1803. There was nothing that American imperialism, one other thing I must tell you, from this period, 1803, Haiti fought every major European power, the Americans, the French, the Spanish, the Germans, the Portuguese, all of them, trying to bring Haiti down, and not one of them could make Haiti renege on her democratic principles. On that country, there would never be on that territory a slave. Every man, every woman was free. You just make it to Haiti and you're free, no slavery. Everywhere else there was slavery, everywhere else. In the great America, they were, let's not talk about that. So anyway, you could imagine the threat that Haiti posed. American imperialism, all of its life, had only one objective, to bring those slaves back into the plantation. There was only one objective, bring those slaves back to the plantation. And America, France, all of them could not bring Haiti back to the plantation. Even after slavery was made illegal throughout the Western Hemisphere and was even abandoned and emancipation proclamations were everywhere, Haiti continued to be the guiding inspiration for Africans throughout the Western Hemisphere. Haiti brings pride to Africans who know history. The only country in the world that did not allow slavery was Haiti. And not only did not allow it, but the only country in the world that put its natural resources towards fighting against any oppression was Haiti.
On a day like today, many years ago, a leader with vision, a leader whose mission was greater than death, was assassinated. While he may have died, what he has done is immortal. He set a nation free, and that nation went on to help so many others be free. We are a nation that always believe in freedom. So you see, regardless of our troubles, even when it may seem like all hope is gone, I'm here to remind you, stand straight, walk with your head held high, shift your mindset, because facts remain facts. We are the freedom fighters, and we will never stop fighting for the betterment of Ayiti.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Haiti Community Trust, I would like to welcome you to this special event, Nula Period, a love letter to Haiti. What is tremendous honor to be standing beside Tikuama, the iconic Tikuama, one of the most prominent figure in this community.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be standing next to one of our bachelors, Samuel Dames. On behalf of Ayiti Community Trust, we welcome you and we thank you for joining us on a night like tonight.
And now, wherever you are, please stand up for national anthem.
Haiti paysan sadio, c'est pour nous marcher maintenant la mer, namita nous pas fait pour guettre, nous fait pour nous seul mettre nous marcher maintenant la même
Wow, that was beautiful and powerful. I love our national anthem.
Ah, cheers. Est-ce que tu connais que c'est Justin Lérisson qui t'a écrit paroles?
Really?
Yes. Et c'est Nicolas Giffroy qui t'a fait musique ça.
I had absolutely no idea. You're so knowledgeable. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have a question. On a day like today, October 17th, pour qui ça c'est jour ça vous pensez que nous prenons pour nous célébrer, pour nous faire ça n'a fait dans moment ça?
17 octobre, c'est un jour extraordinaire dans l'histoire. Non? Et il n'a pas seulement marqué la mort de Saline, mais il a marqué le commencement d'un rêve que nous commençons depuis en 1806 jusqu'à 2020, côté que nous avons décidé de bâtir un pays. Et jusqu'à présent, on a bâti le pays. Non? 17 octobre, pour moi-même, c'est une date qui est clé parce que Dessalines, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Jacques Ier, empereur d'Haïti, qui finit dans nos libertés, il mourit pont rouge et la mort, il sang qui coulait, pour moi-même, il scellé indépendance noire. Et je pense qu'à chaque fois que nous-mêmes nous sommes capables de rappeler nous de Dessalines, il faut nous rappeler nous de sacrifice là. Il coïncide parfaitement avec Jodia, avec le sacrifice que nous voulons faire dans la communauté, nous, que nous à Haïti, que nous à l'étranger, Haïtiens tribo babo, voulons mettre maintenant patte pour dire oui, Jodia, demain, après-demain, nous voulons continuer à bâtir le pays.
Nous voulons continuer la bataille là.
Nous voulons continuer la bataille là.
I agree. I agree. Wow. With that being said, I think we should give a little more pertaining to what you just said. We should definitely take them to a video so they can get a little more. What do you think?
Definitely. Please watch this video with us.
Freed out of bondage, you gotta pay homage. The most illustrious war, 1804, never done before. A quantum leap to 1784. We talked about breaking the chains, breaking the pain, but since I was struggled, it's never been the same. I sat at the ceremony, 1791, Wakaima, a brother named Bookman of African descent, sent from the heavens to represent. A ceremony took place to erase all the scars that took place. Now the war's finally begun to be free. Independence! By any means, led by Dessalines, field of many dreams, haunted by bloody screams just to preserve mountainous greens. Negmawon in military attire, no guns, we still exchange fire. We ignite the minds of young writers and gave birth to revolutionary fighters. A quote from Dessalines, Liberté ou la mort. Death before, dishonor no more. How could a young country be so poor? Stole our riches, embarked on our shores, twisted our laws, but we fought for the cause. In 1804, the flag was flown. Now the true bleu rouge is flown. It said, l'union fait la force. The French army thrown off course. They underestimated us, and that's why they lost. Napoleon Bonaparte's army torn apart. To true generals, war is an art. Tattooed the coat of arms in my heart. Ayiti, you in my heart. Sat in the cipher of the circle of the spark. First free black republic, we made our mark.
L'union fait la force.
You know, I want everyone to know that Haiti Community Trust is leading in the shift of our narrative. And I also want people to know the mission of Haiti Community Trust. Their mission is a permanent endowment to support Haiti's long-term development. C'est pas vrai?
C'est ça. Et je pense que développement durable, c'est un point qui est important pour nous capables d'aborder en 2020 si on a parlé de Haïti. Parce que Haïti a besoin d'un plan stratégique qui est capable de vraiment permettre que à chaque fois pour ne pas recommencer à zéro. Et pour moi-même, c'est tout un honneur pour nous capables de collaborer avec Haiti Community Trust dans l'idée pour capable vraiment venir avec des plans stratégiques souterrains haïtiens pour capable permettre que chaque monde de façon pareille mettez petit parti pareil pour rebâtir Haïti.
I agree. I think that it is up to us to save us. And there's actually this quote that I really love. It says, if you want to touch the past, touch a rock. If you want to touch the present, touch a flower. If you want to touch the future, touch a life. And this evening we are here to touch lives, right? But we cannot do it without your help, right? So tonight is going to be an amazing night because we are going to raise everything that we can to move Haiti forward. Do you agree?
Absolument. Parce que je dis, c'est pas seulement prendre à prendre, mais n'a bail. C'est mais empêcher pas l'eau. Mais non, mais. Parce que je dis, à soir, on a fait un fundraiser pour nous capables de raise. T'as pas dit $1 million, ben, on nous dit quoi?
$1 million à petit. I mean, come on, we can do that, right? That's easy. Haitian nous senti bon, nous shell there, nous bien campé. Money is not a thing. You understand what I'm saying? And you know what? Living is giving. Do you agree? I absolutely agree. Bon, Samuel, but there's this piece of art that's behind you that has caught my attention for a good while. Et me connais ou pense c'est ou même m'a baise mais pas vraiment c'est ou m'a baise dans moment. C'est it's this piece of art and there's this amazing woman here this evening that's going to talk about this piece of art because I believe that we're auctioning it off.
Exact. Bon, avant que nous fassions ça, c'est très important pour nous mentionner que quantité que l'argent que nous avons envie de raiser à soi, c'est $100,000 seulement. Ça ne pas besoin de c'est pas $1 million.
Yeah, les petit. Hi Mireille, how are you?
Hello everybody. My name is Mireille Chancy Gonzalez and I'm with Matt Anderson. Matt is a chair of the fundraising at Haiti Community Trust and I'm the vice chair. Tonight, we are showing you this beautiful painting of Philippe Dodard, Le Soleil Noir, 2016. This is an amazing painting. I want to thank everybody that had made a donation, and we wanted it to thank you because that money is going to go to the endowment of Haiti Community Trust. So I'm going to let you speak to Matt, and he's going to say a few words. Thank you very much for your support, and we wish to meet our goal tonight.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Good night, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us. This painting is very meaningful to us. Thank you so much to Philippe Dodard for donating it to our cause. And greetings to everybody that's tuning in from online. Your donations, your generous donations, really are going to take us far as we look to make our impact in Haiti. So thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, and start your bidding now.
Thank you very much. And you know, I think they were so excited to talk that they forgot to mention how much you have to bid. Parce que moi-même, I'm gonna bid déjà, oui, but you told me you're gonna bid for me as well. So parce que I swear, them buys I will aller, vous comprenez? Petit ça, I already have a perfect spot for $100. That's it. Okay, $100. I believe this alone is probably $500.
Look at you.
You understand what I'm saying? So $100 is all you have to donate in order to be put, all right, in the drawing for this amazing painting that is valued over $20K. Okay? So start donating. Start donating. Without further ado, we're gonna move the program along, and we're gonna go to our next video. Nula Pired.
Nula Pired.
Nula Pired.
Nula Pired.
Nula Pired.
Nula Pired. Nula Pired. Nula Pired.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate. Pour Haïti, nous la pirate. Avec Jésus, nous la pirate.
Nom de Jésus, nous la pirate.
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 Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Comment ça passe? Nous la pirate.
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 Pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Comment ça passe? Nous la pirate.
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 Nous la pirate. Pourquoi ça me met avec slogan ça, c'est que on essaie de décortiquer. Nous, ça veut dire moi ou nous-mêmes tout.
OK.
Là, ça veut dire on est présent. C'est les pas là. C'est les pas nous pour nous commencer à agir. Et puis red c'est résilience.
Yes.
Force. Nous la
pirate. I love that. You know what? I like the way that you just broke this down. And we're just getting started. And you never start a party without a toast. So I hear there's a special drink especially made for a night like tonight.
How do you know? I was cooking this for you.
Oh. M'konne m'abdou mwen konne. Ou vle suiv mwen?
Yes, you are.
Suiv mwen boy. Anale. I mean, I don't know if you know about Toast Vodka, but Toast Vodka is by these Haitian fellas, okay? So this is the way of just basically shifting the narratives, bringing us to the next level. How you guys doing? Oh my God. So what is the name of this drink? What did you make us tonight? Because I believe, and I was told by a little birdie that this is a special drink.
The little birdie was correct. It's called the Crimson Sky, and it's basically a Caribbean-inspired cocktail with Toast Vodka tonight. And I wanted to bring some really bright, fresh flavors, easy to drink. And they also wanted to be blue and red, so we incorporated that into the cocktail.
I can't wait to taste it.
You ready? Cheers.
To Haiti.
To Haiti. To Ayiti Community Trust.
To Ayiti Community.
To raising 100.
And even more. And even more.
Okay, so we're going for $1 million? A cool $1 million is fine with me. Yeah, you know,
Let's
not a bad idea, right? All right, cheers. This was really, really good. Oh my. Wow. After a toast, I mean, do you hear this? We have a band in the background.
Let me tell you something. There's something about music. Music always brings out the best of us. And since we're doing this tonight, we definitely want everybody, wherever you are, to participate with us.
Somebody look at that.
Come on, nego kapri.
Papi le piem non,
Nego
monsieur.
kapri.
Papi le piem non. Dade ben non ke ma pweso kafe.
Nou valwe sa. Nou valwe sa.
Without further ado, we would like to introduce to you Tubadu Lakai with the one and only Copy from Tabu Combo. You guys ready? Because I'm ready to have a good time. I'm ready to dance the night away. And I'm ready to sip on my drink.
Clip depose sa la.
Oh, yeah. We're going to dance?
Avini.
All right.
8 heures précises sur toute l'étendue du territoire national. La vie s'immobilise. C'est l'envoi du drapeau. Respectez le bicolore. Pas monter drapeau étranger. Et bien, chanter la dessalinienne. En fait, non, yon bel petit pays qui paye non mer des Antilles. Pays si là, moins vraiment li tellement douce, tellement tranquille. Haïti, c'est qu'on s'en relève, tellement joli, tellement charmant. T'es mes bombes l'or, mes bombes diamants, moins pas jambe qui t'aime. Haïti, moi remets pour toute la vie. Haïti, maman chérie, c'est dans bras où toujours mourir. Haïti, Haïti, moi remets pour toute la vie. Haïti, maman chérie, c'est dans bras pour moi mourir. Ici là, c'est la douce, les douces passées, you con créole, petite li pas qu'on est valel, parce que yo pas gagné bon diol, mais étranger qu'on apprécie, gardez les yo vini dans pays ça, yo pas mandé pièce pour quitter, tant qu'il y aurait li. Haïti, 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 moi remets pour toute la vie. Haïti, maman, c'est un bras pour moi mourir. Haïti, 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 Haïti,
Haïti.
Ladies and gentlemen, copy.
Yes.
Well, if you allow me, I'll present the band.
Definitely.
On keyboard, we have Hans Da Costa.
All right.
On guitar, we have Howard Jean-Baptiste. On bass, we have Joe Charles. On drums, Mr. Mark and Son.
Woo.
And on second guitar, right there, my brother here, Wonal Smith.
Woo, and the vocalist?
And my name is Kapi.
Hey.
Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Tubadu Lakai. That was so smooth.
Il y a un bagage qui est très important et je pense qu'on a parlé en pile de changer narrative. Il y a un bagage qui changer, c'est apprendre des fois les gens font bagage qui bon ou battre bravo pour lui.
Moi d'accord.
Par exemple, Tubadu Lakai soit siroté nous là, nous battre bravo pour eux. Gagnons l'autre catégorie de monde qui dans l'ombre que nous pas connaît, mais il a fait bon travail. Il y a un bagage qui gagne c'est que automatiquement quand on fait un bagage qui pas bon, tout le monde connaît. Il partage sur WhatsApp, il partage.
Wildflower.
Exactly. Mais je pense que nous sommes capables de changer donner ça tout. Nous sommes capables de commencer à apprendre les gens qui font des bagage qui bon, nous mettons projecteur sur lui. Et c'est pour ça que je pense qu'il est important, avant même que nous allions trop loin, qu'il est important pour nous introduire tout le monde à bord Haiti Community Trust.
Yes.
Ils font un travail extraordinaire, ou doit connaître.
Without further ado, nous la pired, so take a look at this video.
Welcome, board members of the Haiti Community Trust. As we embark on this fantastic October 17th event, I think it's important to remind our audience what is ACT, and in more specifically, why are you guys why are you participating in ACT? What does ACT mean to you? I think people get involved in things that they feel are close to their hearts. And so this is our opportunity to tell our audience a little bit about why you have gotten involved with ACT as board members.
I am inspired by our abilities as Haitians to build on the model of our ancestors with l'union fait la force, to build something that's going to be helping our brothers and sisters not only now but in the future. Certainly we did it in 1804. The abilities for us to come together and to do it again is possible. So super excited.
I'm very inspired by the work that we do at ACT because it changes the narrative about philanthropy in Haitians. We're creating a positive story there. And I'm also inspired to get to work with Haitians at their best. It's been a pure pleasure and an honor.
All right, so I am so inspired by the premise that Haiti has inherent assets. If we were to bolster those assets, we would have a truer and fuller story of our country.
In my view, ACT is really solving a very important problem in Haiti, and it's creating a pathway out of poverty through investment, support, and guidance, and really using the endowment model to do that.
Haiti Community Trust for me symbolizes hope. Hope that Haitians from all sorts of life can get together to build a trust, and a trust that will finance change that we all hope for.
It means otro mundo es posible. Another world is possible. And it allows me to be an ally to this dynamic group of Haitians making that true.
What about you, Patrick? What does ACT mean to you?
For me, as you can see on this call, it means being able to connect to my Haitian community and really a great opportunity to make a difference in a place that my family once called home.
I say that ACT is a strong and serious organization, well-structured, and that's what I like, that will transform my Haiti chérie.
My hope is for us to be able to provide capital to the beautiful and brilliant people of Haiti, that they're able to execute on innovative ideas that will bring sustainable changes in Haiti.
Well, I actually hope that we can instill hope for the future generations to come.
My hope is that our work will give our beloved Ayiti chérie the power to have the legacy that she truly deserves.
Okay, I got involved in ACT because ACT wants systemic change. I believe that's very important. Also, I'm inspired by the endowment model, which I think is a long-term solution for systemic problems.
Well, thank you, everyone. I think what I've heard, if I were to think of a word cloud of the responses from everyone, is that you believe that ACT as an organization has the potential to transform the narrative around Haiti, to be serious about its intention to see our dear country, really move forward and develop itself with the support of its people. You also have a vision of a country that can meet the promise, of its ancestors, so that we can in fact progress the way that we have always dreamed of progressing as a free country, liberté, fraternité, égalité, and that you are involved with the Haiti Community Trust as a way for you to do your part in realizing the dreams of our country, but also of the people of Haiti, who can really help what's right by the country. Am I correct in what I heard in terms of this word cloud? Can I see everybody? Can I see thumbs up?
Yes.
Thumbs up?
Yes.
Terrific. The dreams of our country, but also of the people of Haiti, who can really help what's right by the country. Am I correct in what I heard? Mm-hmm.
Merci tout le monde, merci à board Haiti Community Trust, non? Merci tout à vous-même qui avez continué supporter, donner pour asseoir nos raise goal que nous gagnons qui s'est arrivé à $100,000. Il y en a pas qui est important, c'est que donation ou pas seulement donation sont investissements. Pour qui ça? Parce que Haiti Community Trust gagne une stratégie pour les capable aider avec l'argent qu'on donne, en pile l'activité qu'a fait en Haïti. permettre que l'argent ça les multiplier et lui permettre que lui créer développement durable qu'on a parlé de l'IA. Et pour moi-même, ça très important. Ça très important le fait que vous connaissez que vous pas seulement bail pour aujourd'hui, mais vous investi dans le projet, ou investi dans l'avenir, ou investi pour demain si Dieu veut. Pas oublier, prends petit temps, regardez. Prends petit temps. Supporter cause ça. Moi-même avec Tico, c'est vraiment un honneur nous gagner pour nous capables là. Mais vous-même tout, vous pas là avec nous, mais vous là avec nous dans l'esprit capable continuer supporter ça.
You know, one of my favorite quotes is the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And since we started this night, I have to say that we have some people that have been very, very, very generous to us. And nous pas voulons faire faute pour ne pas mention some of these people's names because they have done an amazing, amazing, amazing part for us. Digicel Foundation is one of them.
Little Haiti Cultural Center.
Katseli.
Meeting tomorrow.
Help for Haiti.
Gaskov Clergy Foundation.
AEDP.
Educa Vision.
City of North Miami.
CMS International.
Chad Bissonette, Roots of Development.
Prosperity Catalysis.
Pierre Edens and Jean-Louis.
Boudoir House.
You know, there's so many more, so many more. But right now, we want to talk about art. We want to get a bit into art. And as I said, you know, when it comes to our culture, we love art. And I don't think we expose our art enough. And right now, I think we should definitely showcase a little bit of that. Do you agree?
Parce que art, c'est un plus gros ambassadeur que nous gagnons depuis des années. L'art haïtien qui a fait le tour du monde avant même qu'on haïtien arrive en côté.
I agree. All right.
When you look at Haitian art, you see the voyage that all people of color have taken. Haitian art takes you through every emotion. You feel joy, the anguish, the anticipation, and the future of Haitian people through every brushstroke. The Haitian masters like Bernard Chauger, Frank Etienne, Philippe Dodard find a way to incorporate African aesthetic and European style into one beautiful product. Through the masters, you see the impact of colonization and the revolution all at the same time. Yet and still, new artists like Augustin Rosier, Tessa Mars, Zami Dorville, and Josue Azor bring a new feeling of richness and grit to what the world sees as Haitian art. As Haiti approaches this new moment in its history, it is these artists that will record the journey and predict the future. It's through their new mediums and the exposure they have to the diaspora that Haiti will get new sales. We anticipate that the masters like Dodard will pass on his legacy through education and mentorship. I look forward to seeing what he will do with these students, with these artistic scribes of his, for our history. We also look forward to these artists fine-tuning their art form and making it a sustainable career for themselves and their families. Through their vision, Haiti will be seen all over the globe and travel to far-off lands. I'm thrilled to pass this over to Laurie Giroux, who is with Philippe Dodard, one of our masters in Haiti.
Impression of Asian art. How do you see Asian art?
Well, Asian art is very well known with discovering of Hector Hippolyte that is a naive artist and is a Ougan artist. And it was very impressive and really impressed the world, mostly the surrealist artists in Europe. And that was like the big coming out of the Haitian art throughout the world. And that developed tourism during that time. What is amazing about Haitian art is the creativity, the plurality of different artists, mostly self-taught artists, and different styles. Each of them work about the Haitian culture, the Haitian everyday life. You know, if you take artists like Wissam Bigot, for example, or sometimes they have also religious aspect from both Catholic religion or Vodou religion, or the mix of both of them. Also, the Haitian artists, they really create the Haiti that they want to see. And it's not only about dreaming about the beauty, you know, flowers, beautiful women, or beautiful scenery, but it is also Haitian artists. There is, during the end of the Duvalier regime, we started seeing artists called the artists engagés, you know, like Valsin, De, and many others, de Renoncourt. And myself, I was a political cartoonist for 20 years, you know, and that influenced my works, mostly in my inks, in my black and white inks. During the embargo, I had a collection called Soit d'Encrier or Soit non crier. You know, and because artists are very much concerned about social justice, human rights, and democracy, development, because artists are always collaborating in everywhere there is a need, you know, for health, for development, for helping students, you know, for education. And I think art plays a really good role in Haiti. I was telling about this universe of the storytelling, you know, that and of what we call cric-crac, when people sit together, sit together, il y a petit raconte en bâtonnelle, les faits noirs, ok, le soir. And then the cric-crac, voilà, c'est un petit monde, une petite fille qui était comme maman, qui était remis au poisson qui était dans de l'eau, qui était les tézins. Et puis quand il chantait, il dit tézin, vini non, tézin, tézin, vini non, tézin, tézin dans de l'eau, tézin. So there's a mix of this imaginary vision, you know, of those stories. It is part of, there's a part of theater in it, part of singing, part of dancing, part of illustration by the artist. So it's really magic. Yes. So I think that Haitian art, if I can say only one word, there's something magical about it. You know, you cannot understand where it comes from and how they find that talent, you know, to really express in a very wonderful way what they are doing. And so that's mostly what I can say. That it's magical, and I think that that magic of art should be used more, you know, into the resilience of the country, and then also the promotion of education and development.
Very, very interesting, Philippe. Un dernier mot à la fin avant que nous concluions.
Bon, dernier mot à la fin. I want to not only thank Haiti Community Trust, you know, for the work that they are doing to encourage, you know, young entrepreneurs throughout the country.
Yes,
and also I want to encourage all artists, you know, in many different levels, different disciplines, you know, to participate in everything that is that can help, you know, for the development of Haiti and for education. Thank you very much, and thank you for you for watching.
Thank you very much, Philippe. We learned a lot. Thank you.
Haïtien, j'aime te dire tout à l'heure, c'est un plus gros ambassadeur que nous gagnons. Il fait le tour du monde avant même un Haïtien arrive en côté.
I agree. D'accord avec vous.
Et c'est vraiment un gros honneur pour non seulement nous gagner un tableau Philippe Dodard, et puis nous gagner une intervention Philippe Dodard. Philippe Dodard, c'est un artiste haïtien qui est connu à travers le monde. Il fait en 1954. Et surtout, il était passé dans l'école art, Tiga. Tout le monde qui connaît art connaît de qui est-ce m'a parlé. Et Philippe Dodard, définitivement, c'est un haïtien qui fait fierté à Haïti dans le domaine peinture.
Bon, tout ça dit à l'âme mais connaît combien de monde qui donne $100. Parce que même si vous pas art piece là, donate for me. You can give it to me. Early Christmas gift, you know, Thanksgiving, my birthday. Well, one, I don't mind a late gift. Samuel, your birthday's in he's a Capricorn. Your birthday is coming up, you know, in January. You know, come on, said donate. You know, let me tell you something. Nothing is too little. Okay? So gen $20, ou gen $10, n'importe so gen la gueule. N'a plein janvier.
En tout cas, il y a des gens qui ont commencé à donner.
Oh.
Il y a Mamie Denise Gervals.
Ouh.
Est-ce que vous avez chiffre là?
Combien de chiffres ça y a là?
Bon, on continue à avancer. Il y a Tatiana Ressier. Est-ce que vous avez chiffre là?
Moi, chiffre là.
Il y a Gerline Sanon.
Moi, chiffre là.
Il y a Nadjeda Chapoteau.
Moi, chiffre là. Bon, t'allez, moi. Marie, avant ma marché. That shift is almost like my social security, somewhat, a little bit of. So shout out to you, Marie. I see you. You're my kind of girl, you know.
Moi, je voulais saluer tout le monde tout parce que n'importe ça lié.
Even $1. Seriously, it's an investment that you are making, and we all know about investment, right? It's a snowball effect. We start very small, and as it grows, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And listen, we cannot do it without you. We need each and every one of you. Timoun, Gramoun, seniors. Listen, if you have 50 cents, you have $1, whatever you have, donate. Now, we're going to move along in the program, okay? C'est là nous arrivons dans la partie femme yo, femme Banyan, femme Total Capital, femme Jam, femme Lakay, femme Jacques Mel, Tiko Armand.
Ouais, énergie.
Come on, ouais. But you know, we have a lot of warriors in the house this evening. And without further ado, I am about to call a warrior up on stage that have been changing the narratives on social platforms for many, many, many years. Without further ado, give it up for Wanda Tima of Union Suite.
Thank you, Tico. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, major blessings, and thank you to Ayiti Community Trust for the continued support. You guys have always been behind us. You always support us in what we do, and it's always a pleasure of mine to always show up for you guys as much as I can. So like Tico and Sam said, in 2011, I started Union Suite, and the purpose of starting Union Suite at that time was more for me. I was trying to connect with my community, connect with people in Haiti, and find my space, the missing space and the missing part of me that I realized I didn't know much of. From that, Union Suite became part of the group of Haitians now that is changing the narrative. We've been blessed enough to do so with all of your support through constant videos, fundraisers, community events, and all of the ambassadors that continue to do stuff for Haiti. We've been blessed enough to be able to amplify and highlight all of the work that you do. So I remember a couple of years ago, the changing the narrative thing was a big part of what I would say. Union Suite is about changing the narrative. And what I've learned from meeting all of the people that I have met from here to Haiti and some of the people that's in this room, like we've always been very clear about what our narrative is. And what I believe we are now doing is positioning ourselves and continue to place ourselves at the tables that we were always supposed to be at. And we're reminding people that we're here. And like you guys said, nous la pirate. We haven't gone anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to change our narrative, tell our stories, and continue to create ambassadors through platforms like Union Suite to where everyone that's sitting at home, whether you're liking, you're sharing, you're donating, you're supporting. We are all ambassadors of Haiti. We are all changing the narrative, and we are all have decided to take our position, and we're staying in position for our country, our people, and our culture. Thank you.
Merci, Wanda.
Yes, give it up one more time. That's right. It's all about the women warrior. And let me tell you guys,
Pour nous, c'est un gros honneur que moi-même, que je gagne là, après Wanda fin parler, pour la avec, je pense que it's empowering to see women like you guys, doing such great job.
Yes. So Wanda is one warrior, and we have so many other warriors in the room. But there's a few others that I would like for you to see. Let's check them out.
Our Haitian Women Warrior panel features an empowering and insightful conversation with the women who fuse the warrior spirit with their love of country to pave the way for men and women alike to follow their dreams. Our women warriors are Edwidge Dantika, Professor Baina Bello, Dr. Solange Vivens, Nadine Paul Deroli, and Yannick Lyons. This panel is moderated by Beatrice Dalincourt-Chunier alongside Tim Valdajan. These are your Haitian women warriors.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Beatrice. Thank you for joining us today. We are in very good company with Professor Baina Bello, Yannick Lyons, Solange Vivens, and Edwidge Dantika. Beautiful panel, such an honor. Yeah, yes, such an honor to be with you today. Great minds from Haiti and the diaspora. I am Tim Valda. I am member of the media committee of Haiti Community Trust, and today is very particular for Haiti. It is an historical day. Some 200 years ago, one of the greatest soldiers of Haiti was assassinated. Yes, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, a war strategist that led us to the independence. We became the first independent country in the hemisphere. As a descendant of this great man, how do you see yourself within the word warrior?
Yes, no, I appreciate that question very much. When I think of the history of that word and what it means for me, I think of it as a lifestyle. I think of it as something that isn't just momentary, that isn't just when you maybe have a cause for a few weeks or a few months, but rather something that shapes your mindset. It changes the ways you speak, the ways you carry yourself, the way you choose to be deeply informed by your history and your identity. That's the way in which I find myself living into the word warrior. And at the same time, I'm somebody who likes to be behind the scenes. I like to kind of roll up my sleeves and get the work done in a grassroots way. And I think that the word warrior for me has so many different connotations, and it's all okay because we need warriors of every shape and size and style. And so I'm grateful that in the work that I have done in educational justice in Haiti, it's okay that we need warriors who lead from the front, we need warriors who lead from the back, and we need warriors who can stand shoulder to shoulder to get the job done. And the other thing too that I find very interesting about the word warrior, sometimes I think people have asked me, what am I fighting against, right? The oppression, the injustice, the inequity. But the work and the way I see warriorhood is fighting for something, which is why at Ayiti we always say we are fighting for educational justice and we're fighting for all children to get what they deserve.
Alors moi-même, très content que nous fassions rappel historique là parce que malgré tout ça n'a vu journée aujourd'hui, malgré tout ça nous passé, histoire d'Haïti son gros bagage, son gros référence au niveau mondial. Donc je crois que c'est ça qui pour nous force. Nous sommes gros bagages, même si nous avons passé dans des moments difficiles et nous passons des moments difficiles. Et je pense que c'est ça qui fait précisément nous qu'à toujours. C'est parce que gros bagages qui construit dans le pays depuis tant. Sinon, nous avons déjà crasé. Et je pense que tout travail que moi-même fait, c'est à la fois peut-être enseigner, parce que moi, je transmets bagages ça par rapport à l'histoire, non? Le m'a écrit, c'est Haïti qui passe dans l'écrit, moi-même tout, mais en même temps Haïti passe tout. Si moi enseigner, si moi accompagner des jeunes dans des structures qui dans des quartiers difficiles, c'est force ça m'a essayé de faire passer. Et moi je pense que l'autre bagage qui est intéressant, c'est montrer de façon pour ouais plus qui rôle femme jouer dans force ça parce que dans l'histoire nous n'a pas prendre l'école yo toujours parler des grands héros des Salines Toussaint et puis nous gon invisibilité pas ouais mesdames oh mesdames yo là si nous kembe journée jodi hein c'est parce que les mesdames yo qui là yo kembe société yo bay société am ta di colonne vertébrale et côté pour nous travail ces journées jodi force ça il pas gain représentation politique nous pourquoi représenter force ça en politique et pense que journée commencer représenter changement commencer moi me persuadé de ça donc c'est des guerrières invisibles mais c'est une société et je pense que ça est important pour nous mettre en avant et je suis très content.
What I would say is that when I look at, when the question is asked, how do I see myself? The first thing that came to mind is when I came to the United States very young and did not speak a word of English. I came in on a 2 months visa, did not know anyone. And to struggle the way I did to get to where I end up, I decided what I wanted to do was to share that trial and tribulation, that warrior moment with the younger generation. And that's what I'm doing right now. Really do a lot of speaking engagement, working with young women, especially on entrepreneurship, and try to transfer the skills and the education that I received to the younger generation so that the path for them, it's a little bit easier than mine was.
Question, c'était qui j'en ouais. Moussa en tant que petite Dessalines, descendant plus grand guerrier que te gagne dans le monde. Eh bien, premier bagage un guerrier gagne, c'est que l'on vision échec par la donne. Vision guerrière qui est différente d'un soldat. Soldat prend l'ordre d'exécuter. Donc, selon qui ça qui dans tête chef là, bagay a passé, j'en a passé. Mais guerrier, il doit pour compte li. Il pas obligé gon l'armée. Guerrier, il a une stratégie pal, il a une tactique li. Pour chaque jour, chaque situation, il sorti dans quelque soit saleté, mais toujours connaît que c'est la victoire. Même s'il tombe qu'on y est là, mais tomber à temporaire, c'est la victoire. C'est derrière la victoire la marché. Donc, moi-même, c'est ça, je pense, qui est le héritage. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, bon, nous, transmettre nous, ni femmes, ni garçons, mais assemblée, mesdames, vous ramassez le plus bien. Parce que même les nous garder, causer, autour, aux alentours, Jean-Jacques. Nous jouons Marie-Claire Heureuse, qui madame qui est fiancée à l'époque, fiancée li, capable de lire et écrire langue française. Nous jouons li élevé à Tantoya, qui sont femmes militaires, qui prennent des petits bébés fin fête, mais n'elles négligées. Et qui te prend une grosse décision importante. Tantoya te dit, les débat qui ça va faire parce que tu es dans marron, les petits moun nan fait. Et puis qu'on y a, faut décider qui j'en appelle vel. Li dit, faut que li tourne sous habitation. Même s'il connaît yo ka couper pied, yo ka faire ceci, yo ka faire cela, mais faut tourner sous habitation parce que s'il pas sous habitation, ti moun nan pas comprendre l'esclavage, li pas ka défaite li. Pour le craser, faut que li connaît. Donc li tourner sous habitation avec. Et m'a fini nous dit 17 octobre son l'autre femme encore. Les yo fin raché coupé, j'étais dans la rue. Son femme qui dit Dessalines son égantier. Pas question pour le finir comme ça. Il marche ramasser morceaux yo tout côté yo te lagué yo. Et puis il acheté 2 draps neufs, il prend une di fait tourner ruban pour ficeler tout bout yo pour faire tourner entier encore et puis il vlopper dans deuxième nan et puis la l'enterrer. Donc les gens qui élevé Dessalines, qui mettaient l'idée liberté dans tête, qui apprennent les goûts, même pour qu'on qui j'en pour bataille physiquement, qui apprennent la spiritualité, qui apprennent l'histoire de l'Afrique, on femme. Moun qui apprennent l'écrit français, on femme. Moun qui a pas assuré, qui t'a pas assuré sécurité, excepté pour 17 octobre, ça pas autour de lui, son femme Marie-Jeanne. Et moun là au fin touyel qui a ramassé son femme. Et c'est grâce à femme ça. Si je dis, nous pas dépatcha comme peuple, même là nous semblait nous dépacha, nous pas dépacha. Parce qu'elle te ramassé tout morceau yo, les ficelés, on mettait ensemble, les mettait en youn. Et vle pas vle, ça Dédé te faire, ça Marie-Sainte Dédé Basile te faire, la fête encore. Et Haïti a reconstitué tête.
Thank you very much, Baina, for this enlightening information. And that's the truth. Very often women are just erased from the history books. And all the work that women do very often is just, sometimes they say, oh, it's the mother, and they don't even mention the name of the mother, or it's the wife, and they don't mention the name of the woman. And even now, when they present information in the news, sometimes I'm saisi how they forget to mention the name of the person. They say it's a woman, and they don't mention the name of the woman. So this is how they erase. So thank you for reminding us or giving us this important information. So we will ask Edwidge, who has not presented herself yet, to answer the third question. What drives your work?
Well, my name is Edwidge Dantika. Edwidge Dantika. I'm a writer. I'm so écrivain. So, m'ta remè ramasser un peu avec Sayanik avec Baina Fek di yo que m'kwe idée guerrier invisible là très très important parce que nous tout gen moun sa yo dans la vie nous qui semblait les on dans le monde les on dans l'autre milieu yo ti affaibli mais yo on esprit guerrier extrêmement fort dans yo même que passer ça ba nous. So donc that's what I want to do in my work. I want to sort of gather that warrior spirit in the women in my life who were not necessarily in the public space, who were like women who were considered, who were considered fancy or were considered important to the society, but had such a warrior spirit in them that if they didn't have that, I wouldn't be here. Or my mother wouldn't have been there, like this whole very strong line. So for me, that's one of the things that drives me to the work that I do is a kind of search. It's an endless curiosity. It's really a desire to fill in gaps. I don't really, the way I find out what I'm thinking or what I feel is by writing about something. By digging, by searching, so and also a desire, a way of spending time with my ancestors, of people I didn't know, who may have known me but I didn't know, and to spend time in that company is also one of the things that, and a love for Haiti, of course, and of our people, and a desire to sort of trace this migration that we have taken, at least on the one that I have experienced, which is one of many migrations that we have taken.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much. It's a wrap. So much knowledge, enlightenment, beautiful mind, great minds from a great country, our country, my country. And as I love to say it and repeat after Emeline Michel, côté nous passer, drapeau nous, en bas pour nous. Et n'a changé discours yo pour nous changer mentalité yo. Changing the narratives, that's what we aim to. Merci en pile, vraiment c'était un honneur pour nous parmi nous. Et moi pense que Béatrice partage plaisir ça que nous gain pour nous t'entendre toute parole ça et qui capable aider société nous en rêve que nous tout gain pour Haïti grandir surtout dans journée historique ça et qui bi belle façon que nous ka honorer mémoire empereur et Jean-Jacques Dessalines, premier guerrier nous gain et une si c'est pas plus grand guerrier que nous gain dans l'histoire moderne et l'humanité. Merci un peu tout le monde. Shout out to Dr. Gerda Nicola and to Haiti Community Trust team. Thank you so much. And all of you who were watching with us, thank you so much.
So thank you very much. And this is really Haiti Community Trust mission, is to change the narrative of Haiti. And so we can think positive, build, and be warriors of construction, I would say. Thank you very much.
Femme yo c'est poto mitan société noire.
Absolutely. C'est ça, hein?
Yep.
Potomita. Bon, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm going to bring someone up that is very special and very dear to my heart. The more that I am learning about this woman, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a woman, a Black Haitian woman at that. First of all, as women, we need to understand, Haitian women, we need to understand that we are a minority to the third power. One, we Black. Two, we're women. Three, we are Haitian. Okay? So we have all those odds against us. But logon femme, takou femme qui peut hit the stage. I swear, it makes you rethink your purpose. It makes you stand in your purpose. It makes you have a clearer vision. It makes you understand what entrepreneurship is all about. It makes you understand the tears that you cry. It makes you understand why the road is tough. It makes you understand why you need to continue going. It makes you understand the blood that is in your vein. It makes you understand you are a warrior and you need to continue fighting.
Which?
Women like me, for a woman like me to be on this stage, a woman like this has made it possible for you to even know my name. A woman like this has made it possible. Like that woman that picked up the pieces of Dessalines. Let me tell you something. This woman don't know it yet, but I'ma stalk her every day of my life. And if I were you, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are a woman, if you are a go-getter, you will too. Without further ado, she wrote this book. Grab your pen, grab your paper, sister, and write this down because I'm going to say it once and only one time. Girls can move mountains. And you know what? We are going to move mountains tonight because I believe in you. I believe you're going to pull out your wallet. You're going to take out that credit card. You're going to swipe it and give a donation. Not because of the fact that we're giving artwork, not because that it took months for us to put this together, but because you want Haiti to advance, because you want there to be a Haiti for your children and your children's children. Let me tell you something. You think I'm a powerhouse? Wait till this woman step on stage. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, in your living room, in your car, listen, get up on your feet and clap it up for Solange Vivens. Yes.
Look at her.
Proper introduction.
What you say? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So, where do I start? You guys are beautiful. Thank you again for welcoming me to the function, this function. Gerda Nicola, thank you for inviting me. And I am humbled, to say the least, that having born in Haiti and accomplished what I did, I want to share it with you. Now, you all know that we all are born the same way. You all know that, right? We all are born babies. We all are born from a woman. Have you all seen a pregnant man yet? Okay. So we all are born the same way. We all are born in this world. But guess what? We are born in different world, because my world is not your world. I was born in Haiti from poor parents. I knew that world. And then I came to the United States of America and I discovered there was another world. So once I discovered that world, I realized there was the haves and the have-nots. And guess what? I decided that I want to be part of the haves. We have choices in life, okay? We have choices. And it is up to us to go from the have-not to the have. We have a lot of work to do in order to accomplish this task. It is not easy, but we can do it. So I did it. Came to the United States, didn't speak a word of English, didn't know anybody, on a 2-month visa. And I ended up building a multi-million-dollar company in the healthcare industry. An industry that is mostly a white man industry to own. We all can work as nurses aides, as housekeepers, as laundry workers. But to crack the door open, to move that mountain, and to get inside that boardroom with a 3-piece suit on and make sure it's a pantsuit, so that we can do what they can do. As a matter of fact, when I walked in the boardroom, I start stepping and I felt that I knew more than they did. And that has to do with your attitude. See, girls can move mountains. 25 rules to assist you in your quest to become an entrepreneur. The book is a memoir, but in the beginning of it, I have 25 rules to live by. 25 rules to live by. And at the end of each chapter, I ask you to make it your own and to visualize you. You will read the chapter, it's about me, but I want it to become you. That's the only way you're going to enjoy this book. Each time you read the rules in front of a series of chapters, one is kindness, the other one is luck. Always remember, to be successful, you need 3 things. You need preparation, plus opportunity, plus a little bit of luck. And I put all of that in this book for you. Go on solangevivens.com and order your book. Now, let me tell you quickly what I'm doing. By the end of this month, it's going to be audiobook. And before the end of the year, the book is translated into Creole. And I am planning to go to Haiti to launch the book in Creole for my Haitian sisters. So Haiti, I am coming.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much.
Pour qu'on ça nous besoin.
Mm-hmm.
Nous besoin plus role model comme ça.
Let me tell you something. You ain't saying nothing but a word.
Nous besoin plus moun qui décide faire premier pas.
Yes.
Nous besoin plus moun qui décide avancer, arrêter camper.
Yes.
Je pense que je dis ça n'a vivre là, c'est extraordinaire pour qui ça. Pas parce que moi-même là, Tico là, tout le monde ça là, nous organiser ça, mais parce que il y a pile monde qui décide camper, chita des ordinateurs, garder jusqu'à présent et qui dit que vous voulez impliquer autour.
Oui, d'accord.
Parce que ça, Haiti Community Trust a fait là, il pas fait ni pour lui, il pas fait ni pour nous, il a fait pour Haïti. Il y a un plus gros bagage qui gagne, c'est que en Haïti, nous toujours pensons Haïti c'est seulement pays, c'est seulement terre. Haïti c'est haïtien.
Haïti c'est nous.
Tout côté haïtien, Haïti là. Jodia, n'a fait pour Haïti. Merci un peu Haiti Community Trust pour bel travail ça. Moi-même personnellement, qui gagne chance là, live, regarder des mondes extraordinaires qui prennent la parole, jour ou même tout, ou qu'on va capable faire, ou capable participer de façon par où.
You know, before we introduce the band, you want to tell them how much we've raised so far? I'm so proud of y'all. I am so proud of you guys. You guys are digging in your pockets, and guess what? You're giving with your heart, and that's what matters, and it's important. How much have we raised so far?
Vous voulez me dire?
Deal.
Ouais, voilà. Nous raise jusqu'à présent là, $15,000.
Woo! $15,000. Give it up for yourself. You deserve to clap it up for yourself. You deserve a pat on the back. And you know what? Since we've raised $15,000 so far, I feel like dancing.
Oh yeah.
I feel good.
It's the time.
Absolutely.
Take it over.
Haïti, l'âme content, ouais, ou. Port-au-Prince, j'en ai envie, ouais, ou. Haïti, l'âme content, ouais, ou. Haïtien, mes frères, moi content. Depuis l'aéroport, moi senti me transformer. Radio, télévision, journaliste, viennent rencontrer nous. On sortit de côté, on vient content, I swear I'm not paying. À la content, I swear I'm avec Zamim. À la content, I swear I'm avec famille, yo. À la content, I swear I'm not paying. Circulation bloquée sur toute route Montana. 11h du soir arrivé, m'atterri chez Arise. Nous mangeons caprice. 1er mars, c'est un jour pas câblier. Enchanté! À la content, à son pays. À la content, à soir avec Zamim. À la content, à soir avec famille, yo. À la content. Nous la pirate, 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 nous la pirate. Nous prenons inondation, nous prenons choléra, nous prenons Covid, tremblement de terre, inondation, nous la pirate, nous la pirate, la pirate, nous 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 la pirate. Nous la pirate, nous la pirate, nous la pirate. Nous prenons inondation. Nous la pirate, nous la pirate. Covid-19. Nous la pirate, nous la pirate. Nous la pirate, nous la pirate, nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Tico, I'd like to say something.
Yes.
Sister Tico, you deep. You are deep.
Thank
and
you.
And I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
You're a
Thank
beautiful
you.
black woman.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Sister is deep.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate. Et nous bien Shelby.
Comme ça que là, nous la pirate. Nous fait là. Nous fait commencer. Vibe ça fait commencer.
Yes.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate et nous bien Shelby. Regardez. Même que la kaouye, and you're looking at us, you know, on your screen. On prend ça, nous nous sentis bon à soir. On ka ouais nous Shelby à soir. Yeah, right? Parce
Fier de vous.
Of course.
Je suis fier de tout le monde qui a regardé choses ça. Je suis fier de tout le monde qui supporte même ça avec $1. Je suis fier de tout le monde, même si vous pas qu'à supporter ou décider share live là.
Yes.
Je suis fier de tout le monde qui décide faire un bagage quand même.
Moi d'accord. Moi d'accord.
Nous la pirate.
You know, before we move on to, because I know you're going to go ahead and take over, but there are a few more sponsors that I would definitely like to highlight. From Jum, Noel Messi.
Luc Fett.
Mary Ellen Gilroy.
La Paix Bakery.
Ayasha Media.
Nidja Chahi.
Sophia Stransky.
360 Evolution Academy.
Marie Woodson.
Femme haïtienne.
Dr. Charlene Desir.
Haitian Creole Language Institute.
Nancy Maytayer.
Uton Youth Consulting.
All right, we're going to stop there for now, right? Because we have a lot more. We have a lot more. And we have you to think.
Oui,
merci en pile.
Est-ce que vous imaginez si nous avons pour nous saluer chaque grand monde qui a regardé live là, chaque grand monde qui baille donation. Nous avons l'autre liste qui est plus longue, monde qui baille donation. Faut ne pas oublier le tout.
Faut ne pas oublier artiste là. Vous comprenez?
Ouais, on ne parler de lui parce que je ne pas moun prendre pour moi me cavar la avec.
Ou pas chez vous moi?
Qu'est-ce fait de donation?
You're such a gentleman. You're such a gentleman.
Il y a qui est évident c'est que autant de fois qu'on baille $100 ça, c'est autant de fois avoir chance pour gagner pour battre moins pour venir. M'a quitter moun battre moins ça. Philippe Doudaï, I gotta be the one getting it.
So what about the there's some
Attendez. En plus, le monde pensait que les venus dans fundraiser ils venu bail. Pendant que nous-mêmes nous décider bail. C'est la raison pour laquelle qui fait que yon tableau Philippe Doda qui vaut plus que $20,000 nous décider offrir lui. Et deuxièmement, nous avons un petit gift toujours. Nous avons un petit bagage.
What montrer?
S'il vous plaît. Montrez pour moi, t'en prie. Nous avons papier marché. Moun qui Haïti, moun qui sont Haïti, moun qui a connexion à Haïti, moun qui connaît Haïti, connaît qui ça papier marché. Et surtout, et pas n'importe papier marché. Papier marché que c'est femmes qui fait.
Aïe aïe aïe.
Moi-même, ça son valeur ajoutée. Si on moun ta vle supporter ça qu'a fait là, le fait seulement que c'est papier marché que c'est femmes qui fait là, on t'a supposé multiplier le par 10 parce que moi-même personnellement, moi aller dans atelier côté que moi ouais femme cap lever 5 petits moun 10 petits moun voyer à l'école bayo éducation femme ta kou femme Mada Sarah qui décide non seulement travail mais travail avec main pour créer art. Pour moi-même personnellement, à part de tout ça que vous capable de dire de Haïti qu'on pas connaître, ça au moins qu'on ça jodi a. Nous c'est un pays qui gagne plus talent.
D'accord.
Nous c'est un pays qui gagne plus talent.
Dis-le dernière fois pour ça que pas
nous c'est un pays qui gagne plus talent.
Yes.
So li important pour nous apprendre encadrer talent la caille. Et je dis à là, le fait que Haiti Community Trust décide non seulement encadrer ça, mais tout, parce que Philippe Doda, tout on connaît déjà,
oui.
Mais mesdames ça yo, qui fait papier marché ça yo, qui ont mérité spotlight là tout.
Bon, pendant qu'on parle des mesdames yo, eh bien sûr, nous pas mal non?
En tout cas,
bien campé oui.
Je toujours dit que les femmes voyant, les garçons jam,
aussi ça,
les garçons grenadiers.
C'est vrai.
Prochain panel là, c'est panel grenadier à l'assaut mais yo pas mourir.
Moi mais ça.
Grenadier à l'assaut mais yo pas mourir. Guys, merci un peu pour belle opportunité ça que nous gagnons pour nous capable passer un bel moment ensemble, pour nous supporter Haïti, pour nous danser tout bas de la caille et pour nous parler avec moi-même Samuel et tout le monde. nous parler pour nous garder monsieur grenadier à l'assaut. Mais nous pas mourir parce que nous là, period. You got this.
The Grenadiers, the men warriors of Haiti. This powerful conversation illuminates the passion of Haiti's past and the role of men in Haiti's future. Our Grenadiers are Patrick Dessous, Jeff Lozama, Jean Samson, Edouard Ghislain Goura Jr., and Christopher Doura. This panel is moderated by Christopher Doura. These are your Grenadiers.
All right, wonderful. Well, mesdames et messieurs, merci beaucoup. Haiti Community Trust is really, what we're about. We have such great goals. We have such great ambition to really, take this to the next level. But today we're really going to, have some fun. We'll be with some of the Haitian men warriors. Grenadiers is what we call us, in our language. But I think today what's going to be more important is just we get, really an idea of what some of the Haitian giants, what they're doing, what they're thinking about, and where we're trying to go really with our community. So that being said, gentlemen, thank you so much, for your time today. I think it's, an honor to be able to really host this show and really give our audience really just some of the value and really the perspective of what we see and how we can make change. So thank you so much, Ghislain, Patrick, Jeff, Edouard. I guess I'm going to go right into it. And, with that being said, here's some perspective. Ghislain, please answer the first question. How do you see yourself within either of these words today, a Haitian man warrior or grenadier? What does that mean to you?
Okay, so both words, the warrior and grenadier, are kind of the same thing. So the warrior is the one that carries on the fight. We are a nation born of struggle, where people have had to fight for everything that we have. And the struggle continues, and the struggle just takes on a different form. So the grenadier within that warrior struggle paradigm is the shock troop, the strongest, those that are at the beginning of the battle, who are required to initiate and to create the momentum to win the war, to win the battle. That's how we see ourselves. All of us on this panel, I dare speak for all of us in that regard, we are the shock troops. We're the ones that are going to carry forward. Others will follow. The slings, the arrows, all the hits are going to come our way first. And hopefully we're still left standing when it's over.
Merci beaucoup. Bien délivré, m'apprécie ça. And, when you think about some of that perspective, it makes so much sense to really take this, with a forward-thinking mindset. Jeff, I'm going to roll right to you. And, you being a guy in construction, you understanding what it takes, not only, domestically, but also internationally. What do you think should be the role of men in building Haiti's future?
It's inevitably our role as men to look out for the future of Haiti. I mean, Haiti is shaped by us. Haiti can only be shaped by us. Haiti's future is our movement now. And I think we as men have to take on that role and take on that role responsibly. I apologize for the fundraising, but I just feel that we all here on the panel, we all taking on that role right now in the respective things that we do either locally or in Haiti.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that response. I think it's important that we all do have a key active role. It doesn't matter what space, what industry, we're all in this together. Thank you so much. Now, Patrick, with a guy being in Haiti right now, boots on the ground, gen ba ka brive, nou pa ka vraiment konnen sa ka passe de mais jodia, being a guy who's over there in the SME space, an executive director, what drives you to do the work that you're doing?
Je vous remercie pour la question ça. Et moi-même, ça que je drive vraiment, c'est changer situation en pile dans nous, frères et sœurs, nous, qui vivent dans des conditions misérables. Et seul jeune qui a changé la situation, ça, moi, penser, c'est à travers le business. Business est important. Business n'a pas une raison pour vivre en plus. Lorsque comme nan mon ou ka longer men ba l'autre yo, OK, ou gagne ça ou gagne tout nan moussou, OK? Ça c'est ça qui capte vraiment, mais nan gens capte nan moi même gon feuille de route parce que ancêtre nous yo quitté un plan stratégique pour nous. Et plan stratégique ça, c'est hymne national nous. Il y a deux couplets dans l'hymne national là, couplet 2, couplet 3. Yon nan yo a parlé de berchon joyeux, ça veut dire faut que nous planter, faut que nous spéculer, faut que nous comprendre, faut que nous bailler faire manger dans le pays là. OK, et puis l'autre là même a parlé de faut que nous former et ti moun, former des fils, former des filles. Et ça lui-même c'est ça qui donne moins espoir parce que nous-mêmes nous dans situation là, nous connaissons que bagala pas normal. Moi-même rêve femme, c'est garder comment qu'a influencer. Comment m'a courir à bâton là pour génération qui a fait même qu'allonger bâton bali pour courir avec. Parce que nous-mêmes faut nous changer bagaille. Et Jean et Sylvain te parlé, excusez-moi, juste te parlé de mot grenadier avec mot warrior là. Moi-même tant que grenadier, c'est assaut mission m'a fait sur plusieurs bagailles. M'a voué grenade derrière la misère, m'a voué grenade derrière des forêts et derrière et moun k'ap couper bois parce que pas plus sur mon pays. M'a voué grenade pour plus de monde à l'école, OK? M'a voué grenade pour rentrer dans poche pour nous repenser l'économie. OK? Même c'est ça capte vraiment. Ouais, l'homme tout est passionné, hein, m'bay non moins parce que ça m'a fait à moi impact yo, moi côté le cas aller et génération après nous, il supposé retourner avec toute fierté lui, pour leur parler de Haïti pour frapper l'estomac. Même c'est ça qui est bon ici là.
Ah, bon bagay, wap bye solide kounya, m'apprécie ça. Je connais que chaque fois nous ensemble, c'est comme ça pour nous vraiment ouais futur pays. Merci beaucoup. Bon, qu'on a son dans le pays à kounya là, ou bien ti moun devant, ou kon ça ka passe dans boucle là. Dis-nous jodia, so penser qu'on ka fait pour ti moun yo, ti moun nous. Pour yo pas souffrir dans misère que n'a souffrir jodia. Ça n'ka fait koto ouais pays.
Bon, et en fait, les membres des pays, et si nous regardons sur ça qu'on peut nous comme image, c'est plus facile pour penser de manière négative de pays, de avenir pays, de demain pays, c'est plus facile. C'est plus facile pour le monde pour le décourager. Mais moi-même, moi fais un choix. Le premier choix que je fais, c'est le choix de rester vivre dans le pays. Parce que même genre, plusieurs jeunes ont fait, ils doivent faire quitter le pays, moi j'ai une opportunité d'aller aux États-Unis, de gâteauté. Mais on fait choix. Qui choix on fait? On fait choix grenadier. On fait choix grenadier. Grenadier, il pas très résilié. Il pas dit bon et après quelques temps parce que m'a mourir bon ça fait demain et bon que tout bagaille fini. Mais il fait choix bataille. Et ça fait même plus à l'aise dans mon grenadier que mon guerrier haïtien. Parce que grenadier, il y a une sorte d'identité, une certaine spécificité dans mon grenadier, où exactement de qui ça a parlé. C'était des braves qui d'accord mettre au front et dans la guerre là pour le défendre aujourd'hui à ça nous gagne. Et moi décide d'entrer dans l'éducation pour me former une autre génération. Moi connais que l'ivin semble un bagage qui est difficile pour me dire impossible. On a dit que bon, les Timounio nous mettent un courage, nous mettent bataille avec toute fierté nous. Au bout de 25 ans, au bout de 30 ans, nous avons une nouvelle Haïti. Mais vous remarquez, si pas il y a un monde qui campe, rien pas jamais prendre place pour contre lui. Rien pas jamais prendre place pour contre lui. Pas rien dans le monde, pas un pays dans le monde qui seulement levé de bon matin et puis il y a un building campé, il y a la police qui a la sécurité, il y a l'école pour nous aller. Il y a un pierre qui a commencé à planter un côté. Et tant que directeur d'école, et tant que professeur et l'école, moi, je vais ma mission ça. Former Timonio sur ça crée l'engagement citoyen et engagement communautaire. Si dans toute communauté pas un engagement, nous ne pas engagé à changer quelque chose, rien ne sera changé. Pas rien qui a jamais changé. Il faut que les gens qui pour camper bataille. Donc, mais moi-même, moi, pays, alors, ça façon qu'on se voit pays, conception moi, c'est que son pays, au moins dans 30 ans, a bien une nouvelle génération qui a prouvé que quelque chose doit changer et quelque chose va changer.
Bon, Quand ça passe, Gislain, ou gale dit 2-3 mots là que tout nèg a utilisé pour dire comme ça, nous gain pouvoir, nous gain power. Now we're dropping lines right now. You know, please share with us your last final thoughts, you know, perspective on, you know, your last words about how we feel, where we can go, you know, with your vision. Please share with us.
Pour tout le monde qui était sous le panel avec, respect, affection et admiration pour tout le monde. Jeff, Patrick, Edouard, ou inspirez-nous. Inspiration pour tout jeune, pour tout le monde qui a suivi nous. Et là, on a célébré avec l'idée que nous la pire avec tout ça que nous vivons en Haïti, nous la jeudi à pire. Ça veut dire, nous qui grenadier qui a assaut pour transformer la situation. And what ACT, Haiti Community Trust, does, and what is important for us, all of us who are going to be watching this panel should take pride in these men that are on this panel, Chris, you included, because you're making things better. So while you're doing things now, Patrick, Jeff, Chris, we're all doing things. And what we want to do is celebrate the good that we do. Talk about Haiti in a different way. Show that we have philanthropy. We give to make us a better place. We give to transform for our kids and our grandkids. We plan to be around for that long. Okay? So all of us are going to make that change happen. And what we saw today on this panel, and I'm very proud to have been on with you, is Haitians at their best. How often do we see that? How often do we celebrate that? You gentlemen, you Grenadier, you're the best. That's how we make change. And that's why I'm so proud to be part of this, to celebrate our treasure. And I'm going to ask everyone who's watching, are we the only Grenadier? Where are the other Grenadier? Join us.
Wow.
That's my thought.
Powerful, powerful. Wow. Monsieur, you know, the words today were compassionate. You know, they were forward thinking. And that's exactly what we need. The theme of Haiti Community Trust. Act now. Act now. That's the power of our mission. Thank you so much for your time today, men. And we look forward to another round.
Can I say the last word?
Absolutely.
Nous la pired.
Nous la pired.
Nous la pired.
Lola pire.
Yes.
Ça qui est important, c'est que jeudi, c'est vrai que nous prenons plaisir, dans des troubadours la caille, c'est vrai que nous baillons donation, mais il était important pour nous capables d'inspirer. Pour qui ça? Parce que un peu le monde fait live. Surtout en année ça, contexte permet qu'un peu le monde fait live. Mais nous pas voulons seulement faire live. Nous voulons faire un bagage qui permet que nous baou ou nous tout. Nous supportons ou supporter nous pour nous continuer à supporter l'autre monde en Haïti. Et pour moi-même, partie inspiration, c'est important. Et pas de meilleur moyen que je suis capable vraiment illustrer aspect inspiration ça que relais Monsieur Pierre, qui est un co-founder Haiti Community Trust, pour venir parler nous de parcours et continuer à inspirer nous.
Yes, give it up for him.
Thank you, Samuel. Thanks, Tico. Nola period. Here we are. Period. I think I cannot help but be humbled by this opportunity to be in front of you here, wherever you are around the world, on a day we commemorate the life and the work of Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines. We talk about a group of very young Haitians. They were really young, who not only committed their life work, who not only took enormous risks And finally, on many of them, the ultimate sacrifice. And they gave us the Haiti that we have today. So our work supporting this country is very minimal compared to what these guys have had to produce. So, moi devant nous, pour nous dire nous merci. Li seulement prend une idée pour te mettre Haiti Community Trust quand il y est jeudi, ou même qui l'a caillou, ou même qui l'a cap supporter for ça. Moi applaudis travail ou, moi féliciter ou, mais on a été humble vis-à-vis ça Dessalines Toussaint et tout l'autre qui était fait, particulièrement Empereur Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Nous la pire. Merci.
Merci.
Yes.
Merci, Monsieur Pierre. Merci, Dr. Nicolas. Haiti Community Trust, nous la pire. But, on a commencé. Pourquoi on fait ça? On voulait un challenge. Je connais un pile fanatique, et je connais un pile monde qui fanatique moi tout. Besoin ouais. La quantité fanatique nous gagnons ensemble. Qui quantité qui a vraiment pas seulement dit à supporter nous mais supporter cause que nous mêmes n'a supporter.
Bah easy comme ça tiko. Hein? Tout fanatique moi yo t'a garder nous connaît. Our pockets are deep. You know what I mean? So on t'y joue comme ça. Ouais, mais monsieur on a ben gatan a braler dans poche.
Monsieur, c'est moi pour supporter. C'est moi pour supporter.
Il y a braler dans poche pour yo supporter Team Tico.
Nous pas faire ça, OK? Il y a deux teams là. Il y a Team Samuel et Team Tico.
Non, et pas dit Team Tico, dit T for Ayiti.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Voilà, on s'en fait là. Je vais faire ça déjà. Notre team Tico impressionné. Fait donation et là nous fait donation nous aller sur Instagram, aller sur Facebook, côté que nous regarder live non, taper Tico. OK? Taper Tico.
OK.
Si c'est Team Samuel, là nous fait donation nous, taper Samuel. Faut nous faire donation, hein? D'ailleurs nous pour le vérifier. Nous avons deux moniteurs là, nous avons un moniteur qui a regardé tout le monde qui a donné. Well, comment anyway. Et nous avons un deuxième moniteur qui vraiment a nous live stream tout comment yo.
Yo pas fait honte,
Non, pourquoi. Guys, c'est pas connait, faut t'attendre. OK? Là me dit go, c'est laisse à tout le monde râler, tout ce qu'on gagne cash fait. OK?
All right.
En attendant, il y a 2-3 personnes toujours qui pas même voulu rentrer dans la compétition. Et ils ont décidé eux-mêmes. Ils ont décidé eux-mêmes prendre devant.
Yes.
Fourth Haiti.
Yes. Evelyn Cadet.
Louise Bodbet.
Tatiana Magloire.
Ramon Shepard.
Angelique Celestine.
Dr. Sidney Coupet.
Keisha Bazelis.
Et Magnola Charlotin.
All right.
Moun sa ou pas dans compétition non parce que vous êtes devant déjà et me saluer.
Pas de problème.
Okay? So, ready, set, go.
Team Tico, nous déjà comme ça.
Team Samuel.
Listen.
Team Samuel.
Listen. Before we get to the band right quick, I'm so excited. Let me tell you something. Chaque fois que je monte, I get excited. Vous prenez da fonti dans pour nous, but nous pas arriver dans numéro, vle nous arriver mais n'a monter toujours. What's the number?
Got it. Got it?
Yes, I'm looking. Oh, you want to tell them?
$25,000.
Nous déjà connaissons groove là. Les prix à monter, nous commençons à danser. Give it up for tout le monde la
Des Depuis le temps des musiques, ça frappé. En vibrant, mais on pour mal danser. Même toucher, mais on me prend la fièvre, frisson. Wati un petit monde qui en punition. Tant qu'on qu'a plié avec, danser avec. Les moines en bras, moi senti très sailli. Tension montée, on fait tout comme frémi. Même si gagne en pile monde cap danser, j'aimerais c'est tout celle la regarder, ou même celle qui fait qu'elle me batte fort, que ou gagne raison ou que ou gagne tort. Tant qu'on piano qui bien accordé, tu fais vibrer tous les accords de mon corps. On fait me chanter de la famille et sol, pour inspirer, pour écrire belles paroles. When marimba rhythm start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like the lazy hunt hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like flowers bend in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, we have your way with me, stay with me, sway with me. Ow! Play the piano, brother. Play the piano. Depuis le temps des musiques, ça a frappé. Ma vie prend ou mal danser. Même quand chez moi, on me prend la fièvre, frisson. Wadi un petit monde qui en punition. Tant qu'on pied bambou qu'a plié avec, danser avec. Les moines en bras, moi senti très sailli. Tension montée, fait du guerre frémi. Même si guerre a dansé, j'aimerais c'est où celle la regarder, ou même celle qui fait qu'elle me batte fort. Que ou guerre, que ou ton piano qui vient accorder, tu fais vibrer tous les accords de mon corps. On fait me chanter de la famille et sol, ou inspirer belles paroles. Quem será, quem será, quem será, quem será? Oh, quem será, quem será, quem será, quem será, quem será? Quem será, quem será, quem será, quem será? Quem será, quem será, quem será? 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 This is Tubadu Lakai.
Yes, yes.
This is beautiful.
Yes,
I like
yes,
it.
yes.
The vibe is right.
Yes. Ça c'est Tubadu
Lakai.
Lakai.
Badu Lakai.
Yes. You know, before we move on to our next video, which I'm super excited to introduce, I want to say there's this quote that have caught my attention for many years now, and it goes like this: volunteers don't get paid, not because they're worthless, but because they are priceless. And so there's a few things that I want to say before I move on to the next. When we are standing up here in that mando pour by donation, not mando to give whatever it is that you can give. don't think we are up here getting paid. We are up here doing this out of the goodness of our heart. We are actually honored to be here, to be doing this, because not only does it benefit you, it benefits me. It benefits our country. It benefits our children. It benefits our children's children. So it is with great pleasure for us to be here without a dollar given, for us to be able to do it for the love of Haiti, for the love of our country. And remember, si son dollar again, invest it. When you invest the dollar, what eventually happens?
Multiplier.
Absolutely. If you have 50 cents, 60 cents, 50 centimes again, invest that 50 centimes. 3, 4, 5, 20 years from now, you're going to be happy that you invested. You know why? Because ACT is still going to be around, making a change in our country. Either way.
Et ça qui est important, c'est que vous connaissez que ou même vous participez dans le changement pays que nous tous voulons.
Yes.
Parce que c'est facile pour nous rester là pour nous dire faut pays à changer, faut pays à changer. Qui ça ou décider faire?
Yes. Changement a commencé avec ou même.
Exact.
Changer tête ou. And then even if you change un seul, one life, you have done your part. We're not here to change the world. We're just here to change one life, right?
C'est ça que fait moi-même personnellement, moi sorti Haïti vini directement pour event ça.
Yes. 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 So now moving forward with saying that, I have to say that fashion saved my life. When I was in a very dark place. And you know, the thing about life is people see you and they have this perception. They see all these beautiful images of Tico. Oh, mbezo taku Tico. Tico belle, Tico ceci, Tico cela. But guess what? Tico wasn't always like this. Tico self-esteem wasn't always at this level. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't always a smile. I had my dark days. And now and then I still have them, right? Because life is a journey. But we must learn to stop and smell the roses.
That's right.
Fashion saved my life. Right. And you know, and it's a beautiful thing when you have Haitian Americans, right, that are in the fashion industry making a name for themselves. Yo, don't, you know, because guess what? They're a reflection of you and you're a reflection of them. So, guess what? You're along on that ride, sis. You understand what I'm saying? Say, tomorrow it's my turn. You understand? We need to learn to start to embrace one another, to start, you know, clapping it up for one another. We need to learn to do that. And when I say fashion saved my life, Stella, you did it. Hassan, you did it. Ladies and gentlemen, fashion saved my life.
Join us in Fireside Chat with world-renowned fashion designer Stella Jean and co-founder of Maison de Mode, Hassan Pierre. Stella Jean is the Haitian-Italian fashion designer and former model, whose cultural identity often provides inspiration for her eponymous label. Raised in Rome to Haitian mother Violet Jean and an Italian father, Marcello Navarino, Stella Jean has established her signature aesthetic as a merging of the exoticism of her Creole heritage and the craftsmanship of her Italian roots. The result is classic feminine tailoring, cinched-in waist and dundle skirts, infused with bold tribal prints and color. She is a member of the Italian Chamber of Fashion and the only member of Afro-European background. Living and working in Rome, Jean is considered to be Giorgio Armani's protege.
Un giovane stilista perché è un personaggio che riassume in sé un po' diverso tipo di modi di essere. Lei è nata a Haiti, mi sembra, e ha un amore per questa sua terra, però lavora a Milano, vuole essere qualcuno nella moda, quindi ha l'occhio molto attento in moda internazionale.
Alongside Stella will be her son Pierre. Starting as a Parsons School of Design student, where he studied design and management, Hassan Pierre launched his label reinventing high-end vintage fabrics before co-founding Maison de Mode. Maison de Mode is Port Marketplace that operates as a hybrid ethical fashion retailer that fuses brick-and-mortar experiences alongside a seamless online boutique specializing in unique ready-to-wear, fine jewelry, accessories, and home goods. They exist for the love of sustainability and fashion. In addition to several mini board positions, Hassan is a member of the 2020 CFDA Fashion Awards Guild. Without further ado, let's kick it up to Stella and Hassan for an exclusive deep dive into Haitian heritage and fashion.
Stella, I just want to thank you for joining us here today on behalf of Haiti Community Trust. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Hassan, for having me.
Great. So I'd first like to ask you, what does Nula Pired, Still We Rise, mean to you? Throughout your career, you have embraced this, and how do you plan to do this in the future?
I believe that it's linked to my obviously Asian root and the need to put forth and preserve the multiculturalism inherent in this world. So yeah, I think that it comes from the fact that I've always had to. My mother comes from Haiti and my father from Italy, and I was born in Rome, but I've spent few years in Haiti, and I was always mortified that such a great country was known just for some wrong reason. Earthquake, extreme poverty, charity action. Believe me, after immediate emergency cases, help should come in a totally different form, also in order to build a long-term action, considering that this population have so many cultural resources which would allow them to rise up again on their feet without the need of charity action. What they need is someone who decides to believe in their capacity and give them the opportunity to work, putting in place their own skill. I think that this kind of initiative would also attract the new local, new generation to their ancestral artisanal skill, like in Haiti can be papier-mâché, fer forgé, which are in danger of extinction, and ensure continuity. When the new generation see through the media, cattle, coverage, advertising, the result and response of their traditional work gives them an incentive to keep their traditions alive. This should be to me, this should be the power of fashion. This is an acknowledgement of fashion potential as a cultural activity to provide significant opportunities for decent work for women and men around the world. So a new fashion, or at least this is the meaning of fashion to me, which permeates on the dignity of work as a crucial element at any latitude, remembering that human sustainability should always come first.
I love that. And I love that view you just said about the human sustainability should always come first. I couldn't agree with you more. Recently on Instagram, you posted some breakthroughs that the Italian Fashion Council had made. And you believe that some of those breakthroughs are a need for change. Could you explain that a little bit and what you meant by that?
I think that we can link also this point on my Asian roots. So you see that Haiti have a huge part in my life. So I think that it comes from my will and my determination to change something which are unsustainable at the moment, particularly in Italian fashion. I think that it comes from that Asians have never accepted change. So we were the first and only liberate, not only liberate ourselves from the chains of slavery, but also help many others to do the same. It's painful to me that this part of human history is never remembered. So people that has always been capable of so much, I'm sure they can do it again, because to recover, it can count on the art history of its own culture, along with its extremely strong and indomitable dignity. So there is a beautiful song, I don't know if you ever heard it. It came out on the Flag Day. It's Drapeau Moins, that was created by a collective of talented Asian singers, to commemorate actually Flag Day. And I'm certain there are verses within that song that fully reflect and move each and every Asian, Yet knowledge about this wonderful island that changed the history of the entire world rarely reaches beyond earthquakes and poverty, as I mentioned before. And these verses from the mentioned songs are, my flag is a part of my skin. My flag represents a radical change in the history of humanity. My flag is she who reminds America and the entire world that the Haitian people refuse to accept the notion that any human being would be enslaved at any place, at any time. My flag inspired Colombia's flag as well as Venezuela. And it isn't a fairy tale, it is a benchmark for history. And these words give me goosebumps. And I think that they reflect exactly my feeling and my vision on Haiti.
I love that. So your Haitian blood, you know, it's really a part of you. It seems, you know, it's so representative in so much of what you're doing. How do you feel that your Haitian blood helps continue to shape your efforts towards racial justice and representation? Do you really feel like it's a driving force there?
I do think so. I do think so, because I see in my reaction, I often see in my reaction the reflection of my mother attitude, my mother reaction, actually. So I think I owe her a great part of even this demand for social equity that we put place in Milan during the Milan Fashion Week. And yes, I think that it comes from this part of my roots.
I love that. I love that. And so moving into the future, what is your dream for Haiti? I know that it's, you know, it's in such an interesting place always, but what would your ideal dream for the country?
I would like people, you know, often when they ask me where I come from, and I explain that I'm half Asian, half Italian, and people often react like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you are Asian, or you come from Haiti, such a poor country." It's unsustainable. I don't want people to react like this anymore, and I would like them to see the beauty. That's why in my collection I'm always talk about the beauty of the country, the art, the history, and to change this misconception, this totally bad conception on Haiti, because it's not fair, and it's not the truth. Obviously, we can hide many and huge problems that the country have, but at the same time, we can't let this shadow cover all the light that this country produce and still have. And I think that Haiti have to take his great pride back, and with all the courage and stubborn will that distinguishes these great people in this immense country.
Thank you, Stella, for joining us here today, and thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this segment, and we hope that you enjoyed this entire program. Thank you, everyone.
Haiti Community Trust décidé faire event ça aujourd'hui, pas pour parler de eux-mêmes, mais parce que yo gen yon but, yo gen yon vision, yo gen mission, yo gen stratégie qui là qui permettre que nous réinvestir en Haïti, qui nous permettre tout mobiliser haïtiens tribord bâbord n'importe côté pour capable reconnecter avec pays. Il a tout pour permettre que chaque haïtien fier de l'avenir ça que n'a construit ensemble pour pays nous, parce que nous connaissons, nous te mettez en timotien, nous te mettez en bloc, nous te mettez en bout de fer, nous chaque te mettez en petit bagaille quand même, qui bout de demain si Dieu veut, les nous garder pays nous pour nous dire nous fiers nous te faire un bagaille. I commend them.
Yes.
as I said before, and I'll say again, Haiti Community Trust is a leader in shifting the narratives. I believe that it takes us to help us. I believe that it takes us to save us. We need to stop depending on the foreigners. We need to stop depending on, the aids that we get, right? We need to start doing for us. And here we have Ayiti Community Trust that is all Haitians, right? Wanting to take that lead. You understand? I think comme Haitian, we've put our trust in everything else, everyone else, except ourselves. So I challenge you, yes, you, looking at me right now, I challenge you to take that trust that you have put on others, on foreigners, and put it in yourself, put it in us, put it in our country, and donate today, donate right now, donate whatever it is that you have.
This is an event from Haitians to Haitians and for Haitians.
Yes.
Et c'est ça qui fait que il y a vraiment un peu de monde qui continue à supporter des monde comme Manolia, Charlotin, Stanley Edmond, Vanessa Tantraine, Mike Girard, Nancy Calix, Alexa Madrid. Merci.
Yes. And right now, we would like to share so many other words with you. But you know what? Our words aren't enough. So we'd love to share this video with you.
As we approach these hills here, you'll be able to see the deforestation pretty well. As you can see out here how sparse the trees are, just few and far between. And you can see the mountains here. There's really nothing to slow the water once it starts running off.
Dans ce futur pays Haïti dépend de changement de mentalité de peuple. Et puis, je pense que un bon côté nous avons commencé, c'est avec nos générations qui vont venir, nouvelle génération. Moi, c'est là espoir.
Haiti Community Trust's mission is to support the development of innovations in Haiti in the areas of civic education, environment, and entrepreneurship. Our overall vision is to build a permanent fund to help support organizations in those areas in the country. Haiti Community Trust is super excited to make our very first grant to Lakou Kajou for their amazing program called Keep Lakou Green. This is an amazing program that really is teaching our youngest generations about the importance of the environment. Who better that we can have the hands of the environment in Haiti, but in the hands of our kids? This is a great project to ensure that they are integrating what they are learning and be able to have a larger impact in their own community as well as in their families.
Pour nous faire ça, on a profité de la popularité du programme Lakou Kajou déjà, qui c'est un programme multimédia pour tout le monde, pour nous enseigner tout le monde comment eux-mêmes, avec famille, yo travaillent pour qu'un environnement propre, pour protéger l'environnement. Donc, le programme n'a la donne belle histoire avec musique, qui fait tout le monde content apprendre. Et puis, pendant qu'ils sont content apprendre, il y a bien chance pour eux apprendre dans l'autre domaine, tant que littératie, qui c'est alphabétisation, mathématiques, la science, la culture et la trier. Donc, nous faisons un pile de ce que nous avons un partenariat avec Haiti Community Trust pour exploiter pouvoir radio pour nous te arriver toucher plus famille en Haïti parce que radio a permet nous toucher au plus toujours et ti moun yo a bien chance qu'on y a apprendre agir et puis poser action dans famille et dans communauté pour nous te arriver gain plus belle Haïti.
Moi ça me te dit nous pas jeter fatra.
La Coukajou, c'est un programme qui fait en collaboration avec Blue Butterfly Collaborative, Innover d'Unique, avec partenaires communautaires et puis partenaires production. Le programme n'est possible grâce avec support www.k.kellogg Foundation, focal avec tout donateur individuel.
Ready, resservi, recyclé.
Haiti Community Trust is asking all of our Haitians who are living all throughout the world, as well as Haitians in Haiti and our friends of Haiti, to really be a part of this movement, because Haiti is ours, right? And so we are responsible for ensuring the future of Haiti. So I ask all of you to join us in helping build this endowment to help support innovative development solutions in the country in these areas of the environment, civic education, and entrepreneurship. So join us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys have been enjoying yourselves the same way that we have been enjoying ourselves. And before we continue, I'd like to say, if we want to achieve a balance in life, we must learn how to give the same way we enjoy receiving, right? Do you agree?
Yes.
And
that's what we're doing right now.
Yes, that's exactly what
we're giving
doing.
our time, we're giving our energy, because we know it's not only giving, it's investing.
Yes, absolutely an investment. And bon, what you're being nice to me right now, but we still have this team Tico, right? Ou avem? Qu'est-ce ça?
Parce que on gen chiffre yo là.
On gen chiffre
yo montre que team Samuel a pété plafond.
Samuel, first of all, he wear glasses because clearly he can't see this right here, okay? So, Team Tico, lo ap cash up la, it's ACT 1804. You can see it in the bottom of the screen. ACT 1804. Make sure ou mette TTT. Yo déjà connais, c'est Team Tico. Comprenez ça m'abdou?
Pas besoin de mettre Team Samuel, OK?
Pas parler.
En tout cas, ça qui est très important là. Moi-même, aga ma gouverne, ma connais. Nous parler pour moi là.
We're all ready, man.
The
D's back, and we're gonna back it back, Jack.
That's it. OK? So, tout badou la kay tourner et nous-mêmes nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate. Et bien Shelby.
Parfois, l'on rencontrer une fille, pour les garder pour toute la vie. Lui-même, lui pas comprendre l'amour. Lui-même, lui pas comprendre bonheur. Parfois, l'on rencontrer une fille, pour les garder pour toute la vie. Lui-même, lui pas comprendre bonheur. La paix, pas au tracas. C'est amour pour toute la vie, moi. Pas comprendre que pas de remède. Bébé a fait me souffrir parce que me trop sentimental. Pas comprendre que pas de remède. Pas comprendre que pas d'amour. Bébé a fait me souffrir. Gagne un jour, ça va finir. Pas comprendre que pas de remède, pas comprendre que pas d'amour. Bébé a fait me souffrir parce que me trop sentimental. Pas comprendre que pas de remède, pas jamais comprendre que pas d'amour. Bébé a fait me souffrir. Gagne un jour, ça va finir. La 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 la. Play, brother, play, brother, play. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yes. Yeah. That was from the songbook of Taboo Combo, 1969. A song written by a Berchancy called Parfois. The original. All right. Oh, talking about Stella Jean, by the way. Stella has a very close connection with Taboo Combo. Stella being the niece of Jean-Claude Jean, one of the founding members of Taboo Combo and guitar player. Stella, more power to you, baby. We all love you.
Merci, Troubadou Lakai.
Give it up one more time for Troubadou Lakai. Saipounulie. Yeah, you know, feels good. You know, Haitian musicians are some of the hardest.
Can we do one more when you're done?
Definitely.
Oh, you're going to have time to do plenty more. Yes. You know, I wanted to say that Haitian musicians are some of the hardest working musicians in the world. And for that, we thank you guys very, very, very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Et c'est pas seulement dans la musique, c'est dans tout aspect artistique. Haïtien, c'est une nation qui gagne plus d'opportunités pour nous capables de continuer à péter plafond dans l'aspect art. Nous avons artisans qui font un travail extraordinaire. Je pense que, en pile fois, les gens viennent à Haïti, les gens aller profiter de la mer, du soleil, etc. Mais les gens toujours quitter un petit Haïti, la Kaili, li pote la Kaili, parce que li pote un petit artisan, un petit bail, un petit craft, que li achete en Haïti et li ale avec. Et ça vient un plus gros indicateur de ambassadeur que moun nan vinn tourner parce que l'arrivée côté l'arrivée n'importe moun capable parler de dire ça est là. Ah, ça sont bail que m'ta achete en Haïti. Et puis conversation a tout commencé, next thing you know, moun nan dit ah, m'bral à Haïti tout. Et c'est dans même l'idée ça qui fait que je dis c'est pas sans raison qui fait que c'est papier mâché ou nous te vle bail comme giveaway parce que yo gagne une valeur sentimentale, yo gagne une valeur et émotionnelle la caille nous tout parce que nous senti que travail ça qui fait là c'est mesdames qui fait et définitivement yo gagne valeur pour nous chaque qui là pour nous connaître que nous pral monde qui pral gagner ça pral gagner un petit parti dans Haïti la caille là ou gagne m'ba ou mission depuis son monde qui vient la caille pour parler de Haïti.
I mean, Haitian art, what can you say?
Welcome to Haiti. Hello, my name is Valérie Louis. I'm the owner and creative director of Yael et Valérie. We hope that you enjoyed this little tour of our Haitian garden. It is to show you the foundation of our color palette, which is mostly inspired by our tropical nature. So this is my office from home, where all of our collections are showcased in fabrics. We also have some models of our home accessories, everything surrounded in 4 elements that really boost my creativity. The color white, which is for me the beginning of creativity. Black, which is the finality of creativity. Brown, because it's the mix of all the other colors. And finally, metal, because it reminds me of the Haitian artisans' creativity. So the second part of our designs is based on Haiti's culture. Haiti was born in 1804. It is actually the first country where the rebels fought and won against a metropole. And because of that, we were totally excluded from the world. Therefore, we had to create our own identity, the Haitian identity. And this identity is reflected in the authenticity of our culture. That is the reason why we have our own art, our own architecture, language, gastronomy, dance, music. So this is the magical world that we invite you to discover in our products, a world viewed through the feminine lenses of my daughter, Yael, and myself.
My name is Magali Noeldres. I'm the CEO of Caribbean Craft, a company based in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. My life mission is to help women of this country rise up by showing the world the unique craftsmanship that is not known enough. What makes me really proud is that this is a company that focuses on inclusion. And Caribbean Craft is about sharing not only knowledge, but also the contacts and the accounts that we can bring down to Haiti and make unique opportunities for everybody.
Hi, I'm Felicia, the artist, the designer behind the Veve Collections brand. I've been inspired by the Veve diagrams, which is a legacy that I find in the tradition of voodoo, the cultural value that we have here. I'm pretty much inspired also by our paintings, dance. I use a lot of colors in my work, which are part of our traditional values here. Because if you see our music, our dance, our painting, we use a lot of colors. And of course, we are in the Caribbean.
Natalie Tancred, and I work with artisans to create market links with the market. Through all the hardship, we are still standing. My clients like to work with Haitian artisans because they appreciate the authenticity of the artwork, and also they are finding the craft to be very unique and special depending on the material that they are using, whether it's the metal, the horn and bone, paper mache, leather, or anything else. The Haitian artisans just have that special flair. They bring the soul of the country in the work.
Là, nous avons un village artistique de Noailles. C'est le nom espace atelier Serge Jolimo. Atelier Serge Jolimo, c'est un atelier qui forme à peu près 5 à 6 générations. Produits que vous regardez là, c'est des produits qui sont fabriqués à partir des bidons de gasoline. Ça que nous appelons les oil drums. J'ai des produits que nous avons gagnés. Que un grand maître, c'était un ancien forgeron qui était Georges Lyoto. C'est lui qui a commencé avec genre d'activité ça. Moi, j'ai eu chance de l'école quand petit Georges Lyoto qui était André Lyoto que depuis l'enfance point que j'étais habitué ouais forme d'art ça. Produit nous vend dans toute grande galerie qui gagne sur les États-Unis.
Magasin spécifique là, c'est Macy's, Anthropologie et puis West Elm.
Malgré toute bagaille, non la pirate, nous continuons à faire.
Nous la pirate. Moi j'ai bonne nouvelle pour le monde là. Moi j'ai bonne nouvelle pour le monde là. En fait, il y a deux mondes. OK. Résultat a tombé. Moun yo dit équipe encore.
Nous pouvons pas priver sur ça, nous pouvons pas priver sur ça parce qu'il pour me parler. OK? So
nous avons l'autre monde qui gagne.
Yes.
À part de Haïti. Nous avons Kisha Basley qui gagne giveaway là. Et faut mentionner que c'est pas n'importe giveaway. C'est un papier mâché qui sorti dans Caribbean Craft.
Yes, from Caribbean Craft. Keisha, you are the lucky winner. But you know what? Somebody come take this from me. I gotta brag a little bit.
Let me hold my trophy. Parce que il y a plus de monde qui supporte. Okay?
Listen, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. But right now, Team Tico, ça va nous marcher. Nous même vrai, c'est pas mon bouche seulement. N'a montré que n'a râlé. Aïe aïe aïe. What's today? Saturday? Payday was yesterday. Y'all showing up and showing out for me, and guess what? I thank you. Got it. The person that gives the most money, that pledges the most, okay? Pledges the most for Team Tico. If you pledge the most for Team Tico, we're gonna go out on a date. Wait a minute. I do. Wait a minute. I'm not talking about $100. Cause I spend that in an hour. I'm not talking about $200. I spend that in 2 hours, right, ladies? I'm not talking about $300, nor am I talking about $400. I'm not talking about $500, because you know what? A pair of sandals is $500. You got to make a pledge for $1,000. And we can go on a date? Parce que nous la pirate et ma pas bien fait, ma pas bien cher, m'a senti bon. I'm ready. Listen, don't talk about it, be about it. $1,000 and make sure you put the TT and we will be going on a date. Yeah.
En tout cas,
Samuel, voilà donne.
En tout cas, moi-même, ça m'a dit, c'est que j'étais supposé tourner à Haïti demain, si Dieu veut. Ouais, moun ça. Est-ce que, ouais, moun ça. Moun ça qui claim Samuel to ACT. Look at me, got it. Viens à la caméra. M'a besoin de toi.
Oui.
OK.
Oui.
Haïti, à l'âme content, ouais, oh. Port-au-Prince, j'en t'ai envie, ouais, oh. Haïti, à l'âme content, ouais, oh. Haïtien, mes frères, m'envie, ouais. Depuis aéroport, moi senti me transformer. Radio, télévision, journaliste, viennent rencontrer nous. Moun sorti tout côté, pour yon vin accueillir nous. Moi senti me tel content, moi t'ai été bébé. À la content, à ça non pays. À la content, à la content. I swear I'm not paying. Circulation bloquée sur toute route Montana. On s'est dit c'est la nous mangeons bon cabrit, nous boivons bon clairin. Mercredi 1er mars, c'est un jour pas cablier. À la content, I swear I'm not paying. À la content. I swear I'm avec Zambim. À la content, I swear I'm avec famille, yo. À la content, I swear I'm not paying. Ça c'est Troubadou la caille. Tu capines de Chine. Troubadou la caille. Le troubadour de l'an 2000. Nous la pirate. 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 Nous inondation. Nous la pirate. COVID-19.
nous la pirate.
Choléra,
nous la pirate.
Tremblement de terre,
nous la pirate.
Tremblement de terre,
nous la pirate.
nous la pirate.
nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
nous la
Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate.
nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
nous la pirate. nous la pirate. Coupa marché.
Quittez le marché. Joue pas.
Ici Kapi. Le compagnon de l'an 2000. Dansez. Speedy. Oh.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous prenons inondation.
Nous la pirate.
Covid-19.
Nous la pirate.
Choléra.
Nous la pirate.
Tremblement de terre.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Tremblement de terre.
Nous la pirate.
Covid-19.
Nous la pirate.
Choléra.
Nous la pirate.
Inondation.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Chantez pour moi, chantez pour moi. Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Tremblement de terre.
Nous la pirate.
Covid-19.
Nous la pirate.
Choléra.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Oui. Vite, on va marcher.
Tendez-vous à speed. Tendez-vous à speed. Tendez à wall. Tendez Dieu Charles. Tendez Hans. Tendez Dieu Charles. Tendez Mackinson. Nous la pirate, nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Nous la
pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Choléra.
Nous la pirate.
Covid-19.
Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
What's the name of this band?
Troubadou
What's the
Lakai.
name of this band?
Troubadou
Lakai.
Thank you.
Nous la pirate, hein?
Est-ce qu'on la pirate? Est-ce qu'on reste branché? Est-ce qu'on a donné? Timti, songez, ça me dit nous à l'heure. $1,000. I'm not asking.
Pas venir pour la paix.
Oh, that's nothing. That's pennies. Huh? That's a bag. Right, ladies? That's a bag.
So you on the wall.
That's some shoes. That's a dress. All right, Mama Dampil, $1,000. And we got a date. Eh, parce que nous la pirate, vous comprenez? Nous la pirate.
I want to know what your price is.
Whoa! Bah, yo mélangé. Bagay yo mélangé.
What is your price?
Many?
Okay.
Yes.
What is your price, brother? Let's get this mask off. And that's the only thing I'm removing, by the way. What is your price?
Tiko vini, tiko get tout en main, li mande moun yo en douette. Moi m'a demandé toute mère. Well,
Wait.
5 doit.
You that cheap?
Pour commencer.
Wait.
Pour commencer parce que
No, wait.
parce
No,
que
wait.
parce
No,
que
wait.
parce
No,
que
wait.
bon Dieu fait nous avec
You don't
deux
know
mains.
who you're dealing
Bon
with.
Dieu fait nous avec
You don't
deux
know
mains.
who you're dealing
Bon Dieu
with.
fait nous avec deux mains. Bon Dieu fait nous avec deux mains.
We are here to raise money for Haitian Community Foundation. What is your price?
Les guérisons. Les guérisons. Les guérisons.
And you know, he said it's not for us in this room. Remember, that's what they say. So I am just no. I am working for a sister right now. I'm working for a sister that is watching the show. What is your price?
My price.
Yes.
Get trop fanatique là. Get trop fanatique là. Prime. Pour PPT. Pour PPT. C'est plus que 25 000. Pour PPT, c'est plus que 25 000. Pour plus.
All right, brother. Are you negotiating?
Non. Ma buy bracket. OK? Je voulais que définitivement nous ayons des gens qui participent.
All right.
Tout le monde doit participer. C'est démocratie. Tout le monde doit participer.
And I agree.
On a commencé à 25.
Okay.
Et on a fini.
Let's say there is a sister outside right now that is dying to go on a date with you. Come on, sister. We need 25,000
for PPT. For PPT. That's it. Tico.
What?
Team Samuel. Are you on Team Samuel, Konya?
No, that doesn't change, baby.
Are you on Team Samuel?
Absolutely not. Like it's in Samuel Deavo. The last time I checked, and I'm still checking, Team Tico is still ahead. Comment ça m'a dit? $25,000. Mboko you buy $25,000. Wow, comment ça m'a dit?
Tico, ça c'est prix ticket pour nous entrer dans la compétition, hein?
Samuel?
On avance parce que nous la pire.
Nous la pire, nous avons un programme vrai. Right now, I would like to introduce an amazing supermodel that is strutting the world with her beauty, with her boldness, with her zest as a Haitian supermodel, all the way from Germany, Michelle Illy.
Hello, my name is Michelle Ellie. I live currently in Germany. I was born in Haiti, grew up in New York City, done my study there, traveled through the world through modeling and end up in Europe. I have a jewelry line, an accessory line. I now currently have through my private collection of fashion at the museum in Frankfurt, running through January 3rd. My greatest accomplishment has been my family. My second accomplishment has been my work. And now what I wish for Haiti is for all of us to go and promote this beautiful country, the beautiful people of Haiti, and to create an awareness of the beauty of this country.
Moi toujours prends plaisir pour à chaque fois que m'a voyager pour n'importe côté que me rive pour demander la bagarre haïtien. Et puis ça après ils viennent dire mon petit communauté haïtienne là, gain 2-3 autres haïtiens là, mais un haïtien qui a fait bon travail, mais un haïtien qui fait nous fiers de lui. Pour moi même penser que ça c'est un point fort que nous gagnons dans la communauté nous. C'est le fait que tout côté que nous allons, par exemple moi-même qui fait Festival Soirée, qui fait un pile côté, qui fait 4 continents avec projet, qui fait près de 14 pays avec, pas un côté que me rive, me pas jeune communauté haïtienne. Et surtout que me pas jeune haïtien, que me capable fier de lui. Et pour moi-même, c'est un honneur pour nous capable introduire haïtiens qui tout côté. C'est 2-3 haïtiens nous parlons parce que ils ont un pile qui tout côté. Qui décide yo dit yo voulez participer dans cette affaire. Yo voulez ba coup de main par yo. Moi saluer nous. Pas inviter tout le monde à regarder cette vidéo ça.
présenter tête moi, je suis Béatrice Brun, moi je vis en France. Je suis architecte, je suis arrivé en 99, après que je fini d'étudier au Canada. Je suis fait et je grandi à Haïti, avec les me considérer tête comme une diaspora, mais j'ai toujours été proche du pays. Et je viens aujourd'hui à être responsable du département chantier dans l'agence d'architecture, côté que il y a 26 personnes qui travaillent. Il y a partie conception, il y a partie chantier, moi je suis responsable de partie chantier. Il y a 6 personnes qui travaillent avec moi, on a géré 11 chantiers, c'est une grosse responsabilité pour les femmes. Et si je suis arrivé là, c'est parce que je toujours persévéré pour que je fasse toutes les démarches administratives pour que je fasse une équivalence diplôme. Je fais des démarches pour jouer une résidence dans tout. C'est bon bagage qui facile, c'est bon bagage qui simple. Mais là, on bagage, il faut que tout le monde soit décroché, il faut que pas jamais laguer, il faut que persévérer pour faire ça. Merci beaucoup.
Marjorie Guillaume, born in Haiti, live in Europe. I work in the field of global sport. Haitian culture is full with funny but thoughtful proverbs. These proverbs can come handy when trying to understand the complexity of life and of human relations. For instance, ancien bon toujours bon. It's like saying if you did it once, you can do it again. Bon coq pas jamais dit la guerre. If you play smart, you should win. My Haitian proverbs are part of my heritage that I highly value. I use them on a daily basis to help me see the big picture, pace myself, distance myself from certain situations, and of course, rise up again every time life knocks me down. Because tout en gagne la vie, guess what?
Bonsoir, non pas M. Donald Lebran, je vis sous le continent africain depuis près de 14 ans, côté m'a géré des compagnies pétrolières. Moi, fier que je suis haïtien et j'en ai avec créole. Moi, je suis haïtien natif natal. Moi, fier de l'histoire et paysan. Et parce que le mouvement Black Lives Matter, ça qui actuellement a fait actualité aux États-Unis, il a commencé en Haïti depuis les années 1700. Côté nous fait révolution pour nous libérer et esclaves pour nous faire vivre indépendants. Parce que nous te dit nous-mêmes, c'est soit nous vivre libres ou bien nous mourir. Et nous te préféré accepter mourir bataille pour nous et jouer une liberté. Donc vraiment, moi fier que moi c'est haïtien.
Bonjour, bonsoir tout le monde. My name is Elizabeth Lewis, and I'm a Haitian American psychologist living and working in Rwanda. I work for an NGO and also have partnered with the Rwanda government to implement mental health initiatives. For me, my Haitian heritage has definitely been instrumental in helping me to engage in global mental health work and research. And no matter where I go, whether it's in Haiti or Rwanda, I always find a Haitian community that reminds me of home and also who's very supportive as well. So I'm also very grateful that I take with me the femme jump mentality that has helped me to overcome adversities as I have risen to and continue to rise to continue to accomplish.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Geneviève Lavelle, and actually Geneviève Léveillé, and I am the CEO of Ivy Ledger. It's a company which is working with disruptive technologies such as the blockchain distributed ledger technology to empower farmers and producers, and we are so glad our first project is in Haiti. Now, a little bit about what I think my Haitian heritage has done for me is to know that no matter what I can achieve, I think as Haitian we have been very well healed to know that the world is really our oyster and we should just go and grab it. Thank you.
Non pas M. James Lisset, avec China. Avec China parce que moi je suis un entrepreneur qui a évolué en Chine, il y a businessman bon ici. Et je suis influenceur tout sur les réseaux sociaux, particulièrement Facebook. Dans la plateforme Red Branché, côté que moi motivé, formé et puis informé sur tout ça qui a rapport avec l'entrepreneuriat, fait comme sur Internet. Je souhaite tout Haïtien pareil, ça qu'en Haïti, pour ça qu'en diaspora, pour goumen pour ça quoi. Goumen pour liberté financière parce qu'il est possible. Nous avons réussi ensemble, nous devons réussir ensemble. Et puis,
Salut, non pas c'est Jean-Baptiste Joseph. Moi ici de la Brésil depuis 2010, côté de faire une licence en génie civil. Actuellement, je fais un doctorat en génie civil et moi dans la 3e année. Bon, moi c'est président de l'organisation qui est le GADE, qui c'est groupe d'ambassadeurs pour le développement. Côté nous aider de monde moins favorisés ici là dans la communauté brésilienne à travers sport, éducation et loisirs. Bon, ma première c'est moun qui a organisé l'événement ça pour moi c'est une grande opportunité pour me participer dans un événement qui c'est 17 octobre qui c'est la mort Jean-Jacques Dessalines. M'a dit nous merci d'être que nous avons l'opportunité pour participer dans l'événement ça à travers vidéo ça.
Pour moi, l'héritage haïtien, c'est comme si c'est une source d'énergie que moi utilisée pour réaliser un peu par l'environnement. Premièrement, l'héritage haïtien aide à comprendre bien notre façon. Deuxièmement, en ligne de moi identifier un peu l'opportunité qui gagne un problème que moi ouais sur moi chaque jour. Troisièmement, l'idée de moi que la caméra une sorte de discipline qui permet moins focus pour bailler remplir les résultats. Troisième ça c'est façon que l'héritage haïtien influence moins et puis il est réalisé en plus par l'environnement. Merci un peu.
Tico, je ne suis pas en forme du tout, non? Comme c'est bon fièvre. Je me sens que fièvre, donation a monté, chaud.
You're hot.
Attention pour moi, attention.
Oh my God. Samuel. Oui. Hey, en Amérique, c'est comme ça nous.
Prétention pour moi.
Samuel.
Bonne donation.
Mes amis! 39,300!
Wow.
Samuel va mourir.
Plus de $39,000. Wow.
Listen, you got.
Guys, merci.
Nous bon, oui, nous bon. Mais, ça me donne parce que nous presque fini. Si nous avons qu'à double numéro, ça le bon. Et puis tout, Tim Tico, devant. OK? $1,000 là, nous pouvons. Oh! So, m'bavo $1,000 non? Ah, nous faisons. J'aime m'habiller, j'aime bien camper, j'aime me sentir bon. Prends ça, moi, Samuel.
Wow.
Avec nous. Mais quoi, maman, mais quoi, papa? C'est moi qui connais. Fais-moi t'asseoir. Fais-moi.
Capi, fais que nous content.
The D's back, and we're gonna bag it back all the way to the Brooklyn Bridge.
Hey!
We're ready.
Bon, comme nous faisons, comme on a dit.
Ancien bon.
Il tombe souvent, soleil levé tous les jours. Au lever matin, moi je regarde qu'un fleuve. On fait un joli volet, on fleuve fait un petit jardin, la rose de week-end, fleur soleil, chevalier de nuit. La rose de week-end, fleur soleil, chevalier de nuit. Ancien monde. La pluie tombe souvent, soleil levé tout le jour. Mon lever matin, moi joint jardin qu'un fleuri. Moi formé un joli bouquet, les fleurs jolies fleurs du jardin, la rose le bouquet, fleurs soleil chevalier de nuit. La rose le bouquet, fleurs soleil chevalier. C'est pour Marie-Josée, jardin qu'un fleuri, je dis à quoi va? Allons la ouli, faire la paix tomber de temps en temps. C'est Marie-Josée, faire la paix tomber dans le cœur moi. Ma paix pour mon Dieu, pour protéger à mon lit. Chanter, c'est pour Marie-Josée, jardin qu'un fleuri, je dis à. Parce que c'est à mon lit, faire la paix tomber de temps en temps. C'est sincérité, lui. On te ramène le cœur, ma paix pour mon Dieu, pour me protéger à mon lit. One chauffeur, y'all. Mia, 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 un seul, mia, mia, un seul marche, mia, mia, un nouveau monde divin, mia, mia, devant vous, mia, 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 un seul marche, mia, 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 caresser, le troubadour de l'an 2000, ici Café. On va faire plus facile de jouer. Plus facile de jouer. On allait. Si fille a levé seul, pas la belle passer, pas le temps, ma gueule. Si fille a levé seul, pas la belle passer, pas le temps, ma gueule. Ça dépend. Valtino, ça dépend. Ça dépend. Ça dépend. Ça dépend tout quoi. Ma femme lit. Enragé mon chef. Jusqu'à bol rivé ya. Ça dépend. Ça dépend. Ça dépend. Tout à fait. Plus formal. One, two, really. Enragé mon chef. Jusqu'à bol rivé ya. What's the name of this band? Comment est le groupe ça?
Toubadou Lacaille.
Est-ce que nous avons supporté Toubadou Lacaille?
Pirate.
Can't hear you. Est-ce que nous avons supporté Toubadou Lacaille?
Pirate.
Et nous la pirate.
Nous la pirate.
Yes. You know, one of the things that I realize is what we do for ourselves dies with us. But what we do for others lives on forever. So make that pledge today. We've done it for so many other things. $5, $10, $20, $30. Well, whatever it is that you have, we are grateful, you know, and we want you to give with a cheerful heart. And I promise you, it will come back to you in tenfolds. It truly will. Living is given. Giving is living, right? Do you agree?
Définitivement. Il y en a pas que moi me dit, le recevoir ou fait cœur content. Mais les ou bail ou fait cœur content ou fait cœur on l'autre monde content. C'est deux cœurs contents.
Yes, yes.
OK, n'a continuer. Je connais que va bien bon, mais n'a passé dans un sujet qui est très important parce que tout côté nous passer toujours dans des haïtiens qui ont le talent. Nous besoin ça avec des yeux nous. Nous besoin monde qui représente talent ça que nous gagnons dans tout domaine.
These are the conversation starters, the catalysts, and the leaders that move the needle of fashion and beauty in the world. Our creative faces of Haiti are Payola Matt, Luigi Theodore, Vinny Etienne, Praje Oscar, Rajni Jacques, Sandrine Charles, Aube Jolicoeur, and Fabrice Tordieu. This panel is moderated by Maritza Boudoir. These are your creative faces of Haiti.
What an amazing video you guys have just seen of beautiful Haitian creatives that are trailblazers in the fashion and beauty industry. If you did not know who they are, make sure you get to know who they are, because if you are looking into getting some inspirations to start a career in fashion and beauty, I guarantee you one of these beautiful people, you will have to knock on their doors. So get to know who they are. And I'm excited to have this conversation, this much needed dialogue. You guys don't understand. For many years, as Haitians, we've thought of professionals to be doctors, lawyers, engineers. Now that has changed, that has shifted, and Ayiti Community Trust is the leader in jumpstarting this conversation on Haitian creatives that are stylists, publicists, designers, fashion directors, you name it. We are resilient people, and right now, you're going to get to be part of a dialogue about Haitian creatives, Haitians that are killing it in the fashion and beauty industry. Let's go. I would like to ask Praje how your Haitian heritage has been able to shape your design.
I mean, I guess it goes along with everything that we all been saying is representation. Even though as a boy in Haiti, fashion was always this escape thing. When I came to the US, it was a reality, but I had to fight for it. And even when I did get, maybe not a seat at the table, but to stand by the door, you still had to fight to stay that space. So it's always been, who is this guy? And I learned that a little bit later in my fashion career that I was just making clothes. That's how I call it. And then until one day I went back to Haiti after leaving since I was a kid, and literally came back. I was obsessed for weeks. And literally from there, kind of like everything kind of came back to like where you come from. That's kind of my current collection now. It's Daome. It's the story of Ezudi Danto going back home. For whatever reason we don't know yet. So from there, all these things starting to happen, and I had to ask myself a question: Who is this? Who is this brand? What is this Praje? When we see this dress, do we know it's Praje or is it a Dior or who it is? I had to find identity, and I realized in that process of becoming a mature designer, a mature person, I found that I was my country and my country was me, and there was no way I could go in this world. The moment that I opened my mouth, oh, you're that Black Haitian guy. So it kind of become this tag for me. And then I was like, you know what? We're going to make this the brand.
Well, Haiti has shaped everything I've done because I've always been very culturally attached to my country. I think that, when it came to like he was saying in the morning of Sundays, like going to church, watching everybody getting dressed and doing all this, dressing nice, all this has had a tremendous effect on us. And I think my design is recognized, especially my colors. I talk about my country all the time because, when you come from Haiti, there's something that makes you not, you're Haitian. It doesn't matter where you live, what you do, like he's the Haitian guy. So yeah, we are very influenced by, the culture, the people, the colors, by everything from our country. So yeah, you can see it throughout my designs.
I would say that Haiti is at the forefront of many, maybe the most important aspects of my life. And I think about my childhood a lot growing up. I feel like my most vivid memories are from my childhood. And so with that said, I try to always connect. And I feel like there's such integrity and people who work with their hands and promoting that. And that was one of the first things I thought about when I launched FamJam. I thought about the Machan. They're not given the respect they deserve. They work with their hands, they raise families, they're great entertainers, they're entrepreneurs, they're full of life. They provide so much color in Haitian culture. So I thought a lot about them because when you see the head wrap, it's not just about style, it's about function. So I thought, okay, so I want to pay homage to these women. So often, you know, I'll do things and I really want everything to be as authentic as possible. And one of my favorite things that I was able to do last year was sponsor my friend Viva's dance class. She's a dance instructor and she was teaching traditional Haitian dance classes in New York. And I thought, this is amazing because a young person in New York, and if they're curious about Haiti and their cultures, they need that opportunity. So I felt like these kinds of collaborations and always thinking about community, because that is what Haiti is about, and culture. You know, contrary to a lot of popular beliefs, I feel like I wouldn't be where I am without the community and the support. So I think about that a lot, and I think I owe all of that to Haiti and my Haitian heritage.
I started going to Haiti a lot more, spending a lot more time on the ground to really understand, you know, the things that, you know, growing up in a middle class family that, you know, maybe your parents or your family frowned, you know, or looked down upon in Haitian culture. Like, don't hang out with these guys, you know, these are the, you know, whatever it is you want to call it, my little word, you know, so I had to explore that. So I had to tap into the roots of, you know, everything about Haitian culture and how it pertains to me and put that into the work, and everything about my Black American experience as well, whether it was that my mom didn't want me to hang out with the dude with the do-rags, like I born, and so I explored that and realized that, you know, all those elements were a bit of my experience, and putting that into the Brooklyn Circus, and it really became the circus that it was. So I was no longer afraid or ashamed to explore, you know, criminality in the Black community, and having a friend who spent that many years in prison and being able to explore the human side of that. So that's what that Criminal Minded, You've Been Blinded collection was about.
I guess for me, like, just having to always working hard, always making sure that I'm putting my best foot forward. And that's the advice that I wouldn't want to give to anyone who's listening. Because now the young people have people to look up to, you know, like we didn't have Haitians to really look up to in the field that we're in. But now the younger generation, I mean, it's giving me chills right now to even think of me being a role model to anyone. But just for me to be on this panel, that holds a lot of weight for me to know that a young Vinny who's probably 10 years old, who's you know, who don't know exactly what they want to do, they could easily Google me, easily Google Praji, Rajni, like any of us, Pierre Moss, Curbito, Sandrine. They could easily find references. Because when I was young at 18, wanting to be a designer, I only had, you know, the Tom Fords and the Ralph Lauren, and I can't relate to them. I mean, they didn't go to Utica, they didn't go to Gospel Crusade, they didn't go to a Pentecostal church, you know, they didn't live in the projects. So I couldn't relate to it. I just had to always look at it from the outside looking in, like, oh, that's a nice life, you know? But once I saw Pierre Moss and Curbito doing his thing, and I was like, whoa, okay, that gave me the motivation. And then now to know that he's from Brooklyn and he's Haitian and all that other stuff, it gave me the motivation. So now my job now as a designer, as a person who loves to give back, is to motivate and hopefully be that example to any young person who is wanting to do anything in terms of creativity. Because again, if you want to be the president, go ahead. If you want to be a doctor, go ahead. But if you want to be a creative, go ahead as well.
I guess I would say to the traditional like intern everywhere, but build your community. I mean, Rajni is someone in my community, Weijie is someone in my community that over time, over the past like 13 years, has become a part of like my close circle. And the more I grow, and now with the council, being able to actually talk to everyone and invest in these conversations, because I was the only one in the room at these larger agencies. So I'm trying to keep myself above water while trying to pull my people in too. It's very difficult. But just be to network as much as possible, find your tribe. And then when you find your tribe, you find a wider network and it continues to expand. I would tell myself coming into the industry that you will find people that like are like, you know, more senior than you or across the table from you or younger than you, that will be your champions. So don't necessarily worry about, you know, the things I worry about now. I'm still at work, you know, there are people to kind of lift you up and continue to help you in any way. It just might not seem like it in the beginning. And now having like that opportunity to do so, like we're actively trying to reach back out to like people who tried to, you know, work with us before or collaborate. It's like, yeah, I couldn't do it while I was there, but like now that we have a platform, how can we like do bigger and better things for you? So the answer to that question is you'll find a way. Just stay vigilant. I think that the younger generation really does benefit from having social media and being able to reach out to like their idols or people that they respect. And I always say, if you email me more than once, I'll get back to you. I do 15-minute calls or Zooms with younger people as much as possible, as Sharifa Murdoch taught me to do that, just because I didn't really have that platform before.
I would just say be yourself. Like, I remember when I started modeling, I had to be myself because in the industry, they like you to be yourself and they love like personality. And if you don't have a personality, like find one. You have to work hard. Even though it looks so easy, you know, on the cover magazine, not only that, I have been in like all these campaigns and billboards. It took a lot of hard work. And there's a lot of models that come into the industry and inspiring models, and they're not really ready to like handle what the industry brings at them. And I've had a lot of things thrown at me. So yeah, just like work hard and be yourself. And one more thing is like, my experience was I was so naive when I like made it. It's okay to be naive sometimes, but not too naive because people will like run over you. But I was naive to a point where like it made me be myself because I didn't know like who was who. One example, when I was like doing like Marc Jacobs and like this big stylist brand would style me, but she would be in her sweatpants all sweaty. And I had no idea who this woman was. Like I said, I was very naive. I had no idea who anyone was. And like, so one time at backstage for this big show, Marnie, I believe, I saw her, she came backstage, she spoke to me, took my picture, and I was like, and I'm so blunt. I said the craziest things. Like I said something about, oh, that's how nice you are when you actually dress up or something crazy like that. I said, but like, even though I said that, she wasn't offended, but I was being myself and not knowing she was this woman was the one that was booking me on everything. After I said that, I was being myself. I booked fragrant campaign contract with her. Like it was her that was like giving me all these jobs, and I had no idea who Katie Grant was. So and also like what I said about working hard, you have to like be ready to work hard. Even as a Black model, as a Haitian model, I had to work so hard. Like, you have to work harder than any other model in the industry.
I think the question is what advice I would have to give, young creatives coming up. And I learned this from someone who is sitting on this panel, who is a bona fide hustler, which is Sandrine. I have known Sandrine from exposure days. She's a hustler. And there's something to say about someone who kind of knows where their place is, even if they're not there at the time. And they know the steps that they need to take. They know where to put themselves. They're genuine when doing so, but there is a spirit of hustling that I do think that some people don't have. And she is one that I definitely have seen the career trajectory and just the sheer passion in what she does that has led her to literally be where she is right now. And I think that sentiment as a whole, whether you want to do PR or you're a designer, makeup artist or whatever, it's that hustle. It's that I believe in myself, even if you don't. I believe in myself, even though my parents might not think that this is feasible for me. One thing I just wanted to add was, being a Haitian woman, I think, obviously, when I was growing up, there were so many derogatory terms when it came to being Haitian. Benny mentioned the Haitian booty scratcher. There was 1,000 different realms. I think the beauty about being Haitian is we are such a resilient group of people. We have been through tragedy upon tragedy, and somehow we are able to find a smile. Somehow we are able to find, glass is always half full as opposed to being half empty. And there's so much creativity. When I go back to Haiti, just like on the walls, the art that's made out of nothing, the bracelets that are made out of forks and spoons, there is so much bona fide creativity that is there. And, I agree with Fabrice, it's a little harder to kind of push that out of the sand in Haiti, just because it's always about success and making money and bettering the next generation. But the creativity comes from, we had to make something out of nothing. And I think that's such a beauty about being Haitian, because we get pummeled so hard in the media. And when I look at my Haitian brothers and sisters, when I look at my family, whether they're doctors or whatever, we just have such a resilient soul. And that comes from the ancestors that were before us, that we fought. Remember, we were the first independent Black country. And I have to remind myself of the blood and the lineage that goes through us when I'm having a hard day at work, when something that I'm trying to do hasn't necessarily, been followed through or hasn't gone in a way that I want it to. And so that is the beauty of being Haitian. And, for me, I love being a Haitian woman, and, I hope I pass that on to my children.
And we are celebrating Jean-Jacques Dessalines and his resilience, and that he has passed on to us. I could not have said it any better. And as you said, as the theme of this evening is "Nous la Pirate," still we rise, and as Haitians, that's who we are, as peoples, as a community. You can see it through who we are, through our culture, through our food, so the way we communicate with one another. We are a resilient group, and I thank you, Haiti Community Trust, for creating such a platform for us, men and women, to be able to have this conversation about our resiliency, about us pushing through an industry that has not always been kind to us. But hey, it has been said, if you are not represented, be the representation. And every single one of you guys here on this panel have done that. I am proud to all of your accomplishments, to you being Haitians. Continue pushing through. We know it's not always easy, but always dig deep, to fund that resiliency of Jean-Jacques Dessalines so that you can continue to rise. So it was beautiful having all of you here in creating a space for us to be seen. So Haiti Community Trust, nous la pirate, still we rise. I think.
Nous la pirate. Merci à tout le monde qui l'a avec nous jusqu'à présent. Après, petit temps ça que nous passons, ou style là avec nous parce que nous la pirate. Nous avons plus le monde qui est toujours là avec nous. C'était
Yes.
Caribbean Craft,
Apollo Bank,
Quebec Quality Clinic,
SMF Law,
Focal Haïti,
Breakthrough Miami,
Papyrus,
Rivero Mestri,
Primordial Herbs,
Teresa Rivero,
Saint Lanegbo Center,
Inez Lozano,
Multimed USA. Merci à nous-mêmes qui toujours là avec nous. Et c'est grâce à nous que nous sommes capables toujours de dire nous la pirate.
Yes. So, we have a winner of this beautiful art piece. Drum roll, please.
Who's the winner?
Did you win? You're too quick. Drum roll, please. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And the winner of this amazing art piece is Prior Kemley Foundation.
Wow.
Did I say that? The name Prior Family Foundation. Yes, it's going to a beautiful home. Prior Family Foundation. Yes.
C'est une occasion, pas oublier. Je te dis, whoever moun qui gagne ou gagne responsabilité avec mission pour venir ambassadeur Haiti Community Trust pour à chaque fois que moun nan ouais soit papier marché ou bien tableau pour parler de travail ça.
Yes.
Pas seulement gagner, li venir avec une responsabilité.
I agree. And so now, listen, we've been talking all of this talk, right? But nothing is ever complete without our future, right? They're our future. And yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, they're our future. And this would not have been possible, right? Without us showcasing these beautiful, beautiful children and what they have to say pertaining to Haiti Community Trust.
Il y en a pareil, c'est que en pile fois nous toujours dit jeunesse nan c'est avenir pays. Moi-même toujours dit jeunesse nan c'est présent pays. Ti moun yo c'est avenir pays. Faut jeunesse nan commencer mettre main dans patte là. OK? Jeunesse nan pas avenir pays encore, nous c'est présent pays. Faut nous mettre main dans patte là. Ti moun yo c'est avenir pays. Et c'est yo que nous va regarder connait.
All right.
Bonsoir, moi c'est Yves Gabriel. Moi j'ai 17 ans, moi sorti Léogane. Bon, pour qu'on y a la vie pas trop mal, mais au commencement ça va bien passer du tout. L'aime fait que venir entrer dans Prodev parce que m'étais l'école dehors, comme machine n'est pas vraiment facile. Mais bonne chose pour moi, je viens entrer dans Prodev, bien que pas de place encore, mais bon Dieu te fait une grande chose pour moi, te fait me jouer en place. Et m'entrer dans Prodev avec objectif pour me passer chaque année pour me monter dans la classe supérieure. Et bonne chose pour moi, bon Dieu tant des paroles moi, il toujours bonne force pour me kimber. Et parfois même l'aime pas fait moyenne, toujours monter dans la classe supérieure. Parfois même l'aime pas fait moyenne, toujours monter dans la classe supérieure. Rêve moi c'est pour me devenir infirmière. Et l'aime tourner une infirmière, c'est pour m'aider l'autre monde, pour soigner l'autre monde, pour me prendre soin de famille personnellement et pour m'aider maman qui est fière à moi-même et moi fière de lui tout. Nous la pire.
Moi, j'ai deux rêves. Première, c'est une chanteuse et deuxième, c'est une doctoresse. Moi, j'ai réalisé et m'a réalisé, c'est que après je fin réaliser, moi j'ai pour aider maman, aider famille moi qui t'a passé mes avec moi malgré pile difficulté, j'étais toujours là et moi voulais aider et l'autre monde qui était qu'on a aidé tout, moi voulais aider tout. Merci. Nous la pirède.
Nous la pirède.
Nous la pirède.
Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède. Nous la pirède.
Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Moi mes slogan belle. Nous la pirate. Pendant nous là, combien nous reste? Combien nous reste pendant nous là?
For the time being that we have been together, I think what, roughly 3 hours, 3.5 hours. We collectively, we have raised.
Prends son, prends ton. Gardez le chiffre là encore.
C'est moi qui ai la fièvre là.
Wow.
C'est moi qui ai la fièvre là. Oh my God.
Les shows. Combien nous raise?
You ready for this?
I was born ready.
You see that number? We have raised $50,200.
Wow. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate. Nous la pirate.
You made it possible. Each and every one of you with your donation, whether it was $1, 50 cents, $20, $100, you made it possible.
Nous la pirate.
We want to thank each and every one of you that tuned in. That was a part of this amazing event. Until next time, nous la pirate.
Merci à tout le monde qui est venu. Merci à tout le monde qui t'a regardé. Merci à tout le monde qui donne. Merci à tout le monde qui la pirate. Nous la pirate.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Yes,
mama.
Yes, mama.
Côté Mounio,
moi power Mounio.
Côté Mounio, Moi pas ouais moun yo. Oui, mais côté moun yo.
Moi pas ouais moun yo.
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 Oui, mais côté moun yo.
Moi pas ouais moun yo.
Côté moun yo.
Moi pas ouais moun yo.
Benza boka, service ouvrier.
Abalacha, assoya patomi.
Benza boka, service ouvrier.
Abalacha,
assoya patomi. Yes.
Côté moun yo.
Moi pas moun yo.
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 Benza boka, service ouvrier. Abalacha, assoya patomi. Yes.
Benza boka, service ouvrier. Abalacha, assoya patomi. Yes.
Côté moun yo.
Moi pas moun yo.
Côté moun yo.
Moi pas moun yo.
Côté moun yo.
Moi pas moun yo.
Côté moun yo.
Mes tambours si autant de rassemblés au souple, et l'entendre séparer, tant pris fait joindre racine. Mes tambours si autant de rassemblés au souple, et l'entendre séparer, tant pris fait joindre racine. Si autant de rassemblés au souple, qu'elle entende séparer, t'as pris fait loin de racine. Ouais, yo, 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 yo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Ça fait longtemps depuis on séparé nous. Depuis les nous t'es quitté tel Afrique. Les colons prennent nous marrer nous tant coupette. Pour te faire nous ouais que nous pas sembler. Pour te faire nous ouais que nous sans valeur. C'est pas vrai languine n'est que trahi n'est. C'est parole pour yo faire nous rediviser. Pour pas jamais bien aimer, pour pas bien lignon. Ça fait longtemps depuis on séparé nous. Diviser nous pour yo qu'à toujours régner. Jodi à nous comprendre et nous gérer. Jodi à nous comprendre et nous gérer.